Reverb Experiment episode number 5.
Five.
They didn't think we was going to get to number 5.
Joke's on you, we're still alive.
We're not canceled yet. Genesis_focus. I'm in the building.
Focus.
Raggio's in the building.
Raggio.
Steph.net's in the building.
What's good?
Photo B's in the building.
Hello. Hey, give me the alarm.
I don't understand why he gets an alarm.
I'm the cool guy, and I'm not on camera, so give me something.
Yeah, he gotta get the air horn, man.
Yeah.
And we got a special guest in the building. Friend of the show. Spouse of the show.
Look
He's
at
a
the mug.
coach.
He's saddled up, ready to ride. Look at him. The energy.
Coach
It's my
/
time to shine.
mentor. He's a semi-pro professional football player.
Look at the muscles. Guns.
He's a community leader.
What community?
And just so
dark-skinned
happens to be
community.
Steph.net's husband. We're going to welcome D'Angelo.
Coach D. What's up, bro?
Definitely appreciate
Hey,
it.
that 49er swag is on.
You know I gotta keep it. You
Come
know I
on.
gotta keep
Gang.
I was supposed to stay in the car, but
There we go. We starting off on the wrong
You see,
foot.
when teams get deported to Las Vegas,
Right.
people don't know how to
that's
act.
it.
Come on.
wow.
Come on, bro.
Oh, maybe
All right,
y'all
got
should have sat next to
deported.
each
I
other.
said he could have been my husband. Thank you.
All right, so before we get into the interview, before we get into our topics, we want to make sure that we thank all the listeners for listening. We actually had some reviews, so if we can get those pulled up so we can talk those on the air. We said we was going to read our reviews on the air.
Oh, you didn't even tell me that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my
Oh,
bad.
remember, I was the one who didn't read the show notes.
You didn't
though.
read the show notes last week or last show. But we want to thank all the listeners on Apple Podcasts,
Yeah.
on Spotify, on YouTube, on all streaming platforms. If you have been listening since the beginning or if you started listening to us last episode, please, the best way to support our platform is to follow, subscribe, and share the podcast with your friends and your family. And again, we're going to announce it like we did last episode, this episode as well. Any reviews that you leave on Apple Podcasts with the 5-star review, we will read aloud on the next episode by Steph.net because we appreciate any review, again, any share, any like, and for us to be able to continue on what we're trying to do, we need as much support as possible because we are in hard times. We're back on lockdown, and people need an escape route, right?
And we're black on.
100% black on.
That
Support
part.
black. Support black.
Flexing on my complexion.
Yeah.
So while Steph is pulling up the reviews just really quick, everybody cool? I know we back on lockdown. Everybody mental health good?
Oh man, I'm straight. You know, I'm straight right now. Just trying to actually getting a job in the middle of a pandemic is kind of
that's
crazy.
dope.
You,
You
know?
got a new job?
Yeah, I just
on,
got hired
bro.
as a youth mentor for Improve Your Tomorrow.
What? Community leader?
Yeah,
The
so-
leader, that's dope.
Come on,
But
bro.
it's different because as a mentor, you used to be in, you know, having
Hands-on.
hands-on, having these conversations. So to be able to be like, oh, you have your workload, you got to call in. You know, you got to call these people via, you know. So just kind of learning what your range is with these Zoom calls. Like, you know, a lot of the people in our training right now is like feeling my energy just, you know, even with through the phone. So it's a good sign for me that when it's coming to me with the mentees, I should be fine to be able to
Nice, bro.
still connect. So that's
Nice.
that's dope.
Congratulations, man. That's dope.
That's
real.
that's big, bro. I was one of the key things that we just talked about off air is the 14% of unemployment bro, in the United States. 14.9 is damn near 15%. So it's I don't know, man. My mental is I'm all right. It sucks to have to adjust to things the way that they are, and but everybody's not good, bro. So I just try to keep that in mind, and you know,
everybody
try to do my part to help.
Sure.
Photo B, you good?
Yeah, I'm smooth. You know, still making money.
He's rich.
Not yet. I'm not the one who put bands on, you know, stock and trade in the day.
Bands,
Man.
Damn.
I'm
Who y'all
not
talking
there.
about?
I'm inspired.
He gets the money.
All
the money.
Hey, he was talking that big.
So
man.
let's go ahead and
Facts.
get to some of
Did
these.
you make $2,000 today? No.
I mean, I wanted to. I mean, I wouldn't mind.
Hey,
making
listen,
$1,000.
I thought about
in
it.
all
I made about
fairness,
half of
in
it.
all fairness, before I make my plays, I do announce them online.
Okay.
It's true.
I do give
He
people
does,
the plays.
and we're going to have to give him that. So before we get off track, let's go ahead and get to some of these reviews, man, because we got 2 reviews that's up. We want to tell the people how dope we are, so if we want to read some of those reviews, appreciate it.
All right, first one. Love the professional as well as personal feel of the shows. You can tell they love one another, and the guests have been great. That's for sure. And I, too, am ready to protest and chill when allowed to. Much love and keep that flame going. Signed, JDG.
Nice.
Shout out to JDG.
Nice.
Shout out.
Second one. Ooh, this one came in on my birthday. Hey.
Cancer season.
Let's go. Great content. When I listen to the Reverb, it is where information meets entertainment. Let's go. The hosts are funny. They talk about me.
Come on.
And serious. They talk about Rob. Where it matters most.
There we go.
Covering topics in the black community that are usually not talked about very often. Definitely worth adding to your library.
Shade.
Ain't lying. That's from Empress. So shout out to Empress.
Empress,
Definitely that.
Empress, you fired. Steph.net on one.
So what was it, JDG and
Yes.
Empress? Yeah, we definitely appreciate the
Hell yeah.
reviews.
Thank you.
We have a jam-packed show for you guys today. We are going to talk about our reaction to the Jada Red Table Talk. We are going to give our predictions on the DMX versus Snoop Dogg versus. We are also going to talk about the Nick Cannon getting fired. And we're also going to talk about the Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion
Does Nick Cannon file for unemployment to add to that 14.9%?
Ah,
No, but B. Simone
He
does.
make a lot more money than me, and I wouldn't do it.
That's what B. Simone goes.
Dang.
Hey, she better go get her entrepreneur right now. Because she still got to pay for that book she plagiarized.
I mean, you see what happened to an entrepreneur. He right in line with you, boo.
Well, he's when
on
you're
now.
when you're the entrepreneur underneath the entrepreneur, does that make you an employee? Because B. Simone, who's an entrepreneur, was hired to an entrepreneur that was actually an employee. Remember how Pusha T did that? You signed to a label that signed to a label that signed to a label.
Right.
She entrepreneured the hell out of that situation.
that's true.
That's real.
Hey, see, that's why you gotta be careful when you start coming for people's necks, because you might be
Right.
hitting that EDD
You got
claims
that
line.
right. If you got that target, trust me, you get to talking, they're gonna be like, oh, let me get this research. Let me get the Google search.
That's why it's better to That's why it's better to spend your time, if you're getting bread, spend your time helping people getting bread
Facts.
instead of telling people how much they're not
Facts.
worth your time because you got a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Trash,
Ooh.
bro.
Man, hey,
Come
I got a
on.
new saying I like, man. It's called formally poor. You know what I mean?
Formally?
Formally, you know what I mean? I feel a lot of people be having that poor mindset. And I used to be like, man, I'm poor. I'm broke. I used to say that a lot. And now I'm like, you know what? Formally poor, not quite rich yet. But I'm
Come on,
getting there.
I like
man.
that.
Let's go.
Hey, what they say at church in between the blessings?
There you go.
Hey, praising in the hallway. Let's go.
So remember, broke is temporary. Poor is a mindset.
Facts. Hey, facts.
Come on, we gonna start like this. We gonna get on fire.
We already getting into
on
it.
it. Flames already.
Come on, the energy.
All right,
The
so the
energy.
energy's
Y'all
up.
hear me today.
Energy's
Y'all
up.
hearing me today.
So before we get into anything, I want to make sure that we give our condolences. We lost a legend. We lost just a leader yesterday in John Lewis. He was one of the big six. At 23 years old, he actually led the March on Washington with Martin Luther King and all of the other prominent civil rights leaders. So we just want to make sure that we, as a black-owned and just voice of the culture, that we definitely recognize that we did lose a legend today. So everybody fight the good fight, get in good trouble, and let's make sure that we honor his legacy, because he fought for civil rights his whole entire adult life. So we want to make sure that we put that in good perspective. We also want to put in perspective, we're not going to talk about it too much because we don't have any major details. Tamar Braxton may have gone into, or she was hospitalized because of a alleged suicide attempt. So we want to make sure that, again, we're not going to talk about it. There's no jokes. We don't want to make fun of suicide at all and mental health at all. So we want to make sure that before we get into our content, if you are dealing with anything, especially during this time because we're on lockdown, you don't have any outlets, to please reach out. If you need to go to therapy, go to therapy. If you need to call the hotline, call the hotline. Reach out to your family members, get involved,
there's no
right?
shame. There's
no
no
shame
shame
at
in it.
all.
Yeah.
So we want to encourage for you to take care of yourself?
I always
and
feel like
mental
it's
health?
sad when we hear celebrities go through it. I was listening to Charlamagne the other day. He said a couple of his really important, really popular people, because I'm not saying this is the case with Tamar, but I feel like a lot of the times when you are the go-to person and you're the person who supplies for everyone else, and these times, sometimes it feels like there's nobody to lean on. So,
Right.
you got to be able to see past the buffer or the facade that you're the only person who cares about you or the only person that can actually help. Right.
That's right.
Suicide's not the way to go, man. All you're doing is hurting the people who love you the most.
Right.
And you gotta reach out to your community, right?
community,
So speaking of community and mental health and reaching out to that, I think one of the important aspects that we have is black men stepping up and being mentors and being coaches. So
Coach D.
we want to thank Coach D for being on, man. Can you speak to why you decided to embark on that journey as far as being a coach, being a mentor, and what does that mean, and kind of what kind of impact have you seen that you made so far?
Yeah, man, no problem. Honestly, I was that kid that needed that positive male role model in my life. And so for me to be 13, 14 years old, running the streets in Meadowview, gang banging and doing stuff I shouldn't be doing, to be able to have somebody take me under their wing and tell me, you can go to college, you know that, right? And not just tell me, but show me by taking me to the college. You know what I mean? Like, this is Houston. I told my mentor I wanted to go to Texas Southern, man. Big shout out to Richard Jennings. He is the the CEO of the Center for Fathers and Families. That program, I give full credit for saving my life, because I could have easily been just another nigga. You know what I'm saying? And so to be able to have somebody not just tell you but show you, there's other things outside of your city. So my thing is, I try to preach a lot to the kids I work with, is like, you may feel a way about Sacramento, but that's because you ain't never been nowhere.
Facts.
Like, you gotta understand, the same BS you're seeing here is
everywhere.
Like, literally every single city that you go to. But for me, I experienced it. I lived in 4 or 5 different cities for real time, not just visiting. So I've lived in different cities, and I see, like, if you turn on the news at 8 o'clock in the morning
It's the same
in
thing
Houston,
everywhere.
in Sac, or in Oakland, it's gonna be the same thing of somebody getting killed, somebody getting robbed, something going on somewhere. So to get these kids to understand that there's more to life than the city that you're from is just really key for me, because, like I said, you're not really hearing that. And I remember coming home and my mom and her friends telling me, I ain't gonna be nothing, basically. Like, oh, you gonna be, you looking like you gonna have a bunch of kids, you gonna have in and out of jail, all this stuff. So when you're getting told this at 13, 14 years old, that you're gonna be having a bunch of kids, you're not gonna really amount to nothing great, you like, all right, I guess I'm not gonna amount to nothing great. So then when you have somebody that's telling you, yo, you can be as great as you wanna be, bro. Let's go to greatness together. Like, come on, like let's
dope,
work.
bro.
So, just understanding the importance of having somebody telling you good things is why I did this, how I did it. And then honestly, going into coaching football has really helped with this. I was just telling them in the meeting, like, honestly, I applied for this same job 2 years ago, but I also took on a job as a head coach of the football. And they didn't hire me because of that, because they wanted me to commit to my commitment. And honestly, being a football coach has helped me tremendously already for when it comes to this chapter in my life of actually doing that. Because again, it's like, I was always that person that was a leader that didn't want to lead. You know what I mean? And so, again, getting married, becoming a head football coach to where I had, like, this is 16 kids looking up to me for what's next. I didn't have no coaching staff my first year. It was literally me and 16 kids. Every week going to war. Like, that's big, you know what I mean? So knowing that I had these people that was worried about me, I'm like, oh, I got y'all.
Yeah.
And still to this day, my first year kids, I went to their homecoming for their for my kids that's playing high school ball. I went to their homecoming game.
Dope.
Like, period. Like, I'm here. I tell all my kids, I'm big brother to anybody who need one. Period. Like, I don't want to be your daddy. I don't want to necessarily be a daddy figure or whatever, but I know the importance of a strong black man telling you that you can be great too.
It's bars, bro. The whole thing is bars. I really like the I like the statement that you said, wherever you go, it's the same thing. Because for some reason we live in a bubble where I hear people say they hate this city or I hate here, and then they move to Vegas, and then it's the same thing in Vegas. Exactly. Right? The thing is, like you said, you have to, I think what's important in your job is that you're imparting into these kids a mindset,
right?
Because you can run all you want, right? But if that mindset doesn't change, you're gonna take the same problems you had here to wherever you go.
Period.
Right. So I think it's super important for people like yourself who have gone through the adversity of being told that you weren't going to be anything. Right. And now you are the, I guess the pathway, or you're the blueprint to what it looks like to be to rise above. That's dope as fuck.
I look at it like this, like that's expectation setting right there. Like if you're telling your young child, you know, as long as you walk the stage, I'm good. This is just high school. Like that ain't like I literally nobody never told me anything about college till like my junior year.
That's a life after high school.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no one ever told me that, you know, oh, you can move somewhere and work and do whatever. You know what I mean? Like it was always just like, well, get through high school and see what happens.
Then,
you know what I mean? Like
then just do
whatever, you know what I mean? So it's like, damn, like, you know, so to have that, like I just understand the importance of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I treat everything like, for me, like this is what I wanted. This is what I needed growing up. And so I know other black kids, other brown boys in my same position, you know, ain't nothing really changed. There's a lot of no fathers in the homes. That's still the case. It's still gang banging in the homes due to big brothers
Drug
that didn't,
abuse,
you know what I mean? All that stuff
abuse,
is still there. So it's like there's a lot of kids who want to. Man, it still hurts my heart, man, like with my quarterback from last season. Like he'll come to me every practice like, coach, my back is like, you know what I mean? And he's like, I'm like, you ain't went to the doctor? It's like, you get checked out. It's like, my mom won't let me. I'm like, what? You're telling me you have chronic back pains and your mom won't let you go to the hospital? Why? Oh, you know.
Access.
Bro, this is the same thing.
Underlining stories,
Come
bro.
on, you know what I mean?
It's
It's like this is stuff. This is the same stuff. And then again, I see him. He's a good kid. He could be as great as he want to be. But I see his big brother still gangbanging. Still, you know, I see how he look up to his big brother. So it's like, I only got you for 3 months. You know what I mean? I only got you for so much time. And so if I can just get one, if I could get that kid to get it, you know what I mean? In that small amount of time, I'm like, then great. But it's like, those are the kids that usually don't, because again, the big brother with him all the time.
right.
Coach D'Lo only there for a couple hours a day.
Right.
Once he gone, those words of encouragement, those words of positive affirmations, they're not there. You know what I mean? Like, if you emotional and you cry and your big brother like, man up, nigga, ain't nothing wrong with you, bitch ass nigga, get your...
I've heard it. I've
like
seen
this
it.
is like the
Yeah,
reality
that's
for
how
most
we
of our
grew
black
up.
boys
Yeah.
in the city.
That's
You know
how
what I
we
mean? It's
grew
like,
up.
what?
Yeah.
So emotions.
Right.
What?
Yes, bro.
Man, bro.
You can't do that as a man.
We got a lot of content about male emotions, man.
Come on, like it's
we gonna
it's
talk
real.
about it.
Yeah,
We
have to.
So, and I think that's one of the
Have
other
to.
reasons, you know, I think positive affirmations, having positive influences, and we got to understand that from our standpoint, we are media, like whether we want to think that we are or not. So we are responsible for the things that we put out. So obviously with the Jada Pinkett and the Will Smith fiasco, right? There's been a lot of people asking,
Look at that smile on stage.
what is marriage? Are marriages even real anymore? Does love exist? We wanted to make sure that obviously we wanted to highlight your work in the community, but we also wanted to highlight your guys' relationship and just how, you know, and not to put you guys on a pedestal,
Right?
but we
Yeah,
do.
we talked about that.
It's the best relationship ever.
But we should, but we should edify marriage, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah,
we
no,
don't
for
know.
sure.
Because we don't know. I'm saying, from the outside, but I mean that's why we're here, right?
Right, nah, for
So
we get to sit in on some arguments. They're doing all right.
I mean, right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you know, honestly, I feel like the main thing is really marrying your friend. Like I feel like a lot of people
Come on,
really
Bars,
don't
that's
do that.
hard.
Like a lot of people
Give
don't.
him the bell, bro.
Like-
look, we can't let him finish the
Man,
spell.
I'm like, but not
Ding,
like
ding,
like,
ding, ding,
like,
ding,
like
ding,
real
ding.
life. Like
I got you.
At the end of the day, we had our beef, we had our stuff, we did all that. We've been through that stuff already. But
We gonna
you
talk about it.
Right? Oh, we are. Oh, we are. but at the end of the day, this is my best friend. This is my dog. So you know, when you can have that relationship to where like we could go out and have fun and not worry about sex or who paying for this, who paying for that, or we ain't did this and this on. Like it ain't about that. Like at the end of the day, this is my best friend. This is my partner. I know with her, she made me stronger and vice versa. So you know, it's just really having that, and that's tough. You know, people fall in love for different reasons, so it's tough to have that. But when you really with your best friend, it make it a whole lot easier for
Facts.
sure.
Right. So obviously now, you know, you guys are able to speak from that part. But so how long have you guys been married? And
3 years.
how did you, or where did you meet? How did you meet?
Go ahead.
And keep it short.
Oh,
don't
I gotta.
Don't be giving
It's
us
your-
a long.
No, this is beautiful.
Oh, so it's a joint interview now. Okay.
Are you
we-
not a part of this marriage?
Shut up.
All right, I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to find out, man.
No, okay, so we've been married for 3 years, but I've known Coach D-Lo since 2007, and we in 2020 now.
13 years. Okay.
Yeah, 13 years. So, oh, you got to count.
13 years.
But yeah, so our story, we met in college at Texas Southern.
y'all
Like he
was
said, that's where he wanted to go.
smart.
We met in college, and we met through mutual friends. You know, my friend was talking to his friend, and you know, you kind of stuck talking to the.
Shout out to mutual friends.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of how we met, but I mean, we could keep it.
Was
real.
That
she,
is
was she
how we
wildin'?
met.
She was
You know,
wilding out there in them
she
streets.
seen me and my boy
Mm-hmm.
in the downstairs little, because we used to stay in these apartments on campus called Courtyard, and there was a little gym down there. Me and my boy, we doing our thing in the gym, working out,
okay.
and her
He
friend was
been
sitting-
Coach D-Lo from the beginning.
Come on now, hey, we've been out here with it.
She was like, "Is that
Right.
Coach?"
Right. So look. So her and her friend just sitting because her friend was working the door. She was like the RN for that. So she had to make sure everybody was there. Was supposed to be there. So she's sitting there with her, and me and my boy working out. They're lightweight talking, but she keep peeping in like.
Ooh, who that
You
chocolate
know, like,
job?
So it was
she
still
keep peeping
mutual
in.
friend. The mutual
Look
friend.
at her face, though.
Dang,
Look at
it
her
was
face,
the
look at
same.
her
He
face.
But
just
she
tried to
saw
put.
what she liked.
He tried to put dubs on
I'm
it,
just
but.
saying, she made it seem like it was like, hey, this
Hey,
is
you
my
were
friend,
working-
this is my
you were
friend.
Okay, let me
Wow.
finish the
We
story.
was-
So
oh,
I
go
was
ahead.
okay. He was cute. Okay, whatever. So they come over, they're talking, we chop it up, and then finally, you know, they going their separate ways. I'm like, okay. He's like, let me get your number. I'm like, all right. Gave me the number.
Wait, you gotta say that. You gotta say that.
Oh, you gotta say that, bro?
You gotta say that.
Gave me the number, and he was like, but don't call it because my phone off. Just hit me up on
College
Bro,
days.
MySpace.
bro, college
College
days.
days, bro. College days.
Temporarily
We been
poor,
there.
right?
Hey, guess what,
Right.
though? Hey, when you're in college, though,
Temporarily
you
broke.
get a pass.
Hey,
When
facts.
you're right now, if
Right.
I'm like my phone's off, she's like, no sir. Yeah,
Like,
Period.
It's
what?
over. Nigga, your phone off.
You ain't make no.
Ain't that
You
like
could at least make a
ain't that
payment
60
arrangement.
Ain't that $65 a month?
can
And you
afford
think
that.
you about to hit this? Come on, look at her face. Like, come on, man.
Hey, she for sure took down my MySpace though.
Hey, I bet she did.
Hello. That's how you know we old, bro.
2007.
Meet me on the Tiger Walk in
Hey,
20 minutes.
I'm out here. She was so she so came out running. I'm out here. She was so out there.
He is annoying.
Yes.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
that's how we met.
Okay.
We were together then for like what
2.5.
2.5 years, and then we broke up, and then we was
5 years.
Wait,
Broke
why'd
up for
y'all break
5
up,
whole
though?
years. Oh, she was batshit crazy. She was batshit crazy.
that's where we going with it.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, I'm just saying. That's the real reason. Was you was batshit
Wait,
crazy?
was
back
it
then.
because of jealousy or were you a dirtbag?
Oh, nah. Well, it was.
Okay, so
jealousy
this is
from
let
our
me tell.
talking
Okay,
stage,
let me
but
tell
the
you.
real shit
This
was
is
from
what dudes
before
don't
us.
understand. So when you're talking to somebody, like for guys, when you're talking, they're like, I'm still single.
Period.
So I'm gonna be single.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Even if the the relationship is starting to like
a
go
little
to different, you know what I mean? It's getting serious, but
I have questions.
I'm still single. So
Period.
as a woman, we looking at how you acted while we were talking. Now all of a sudden we in a relationship that's just gone. You ain't like that no more.
But
Yes.
see, as a man, when I tell you
It's
I'm
a
with you, I'm
switch.
with you.
It's a switch.
As a man, if I'm telling you
Hey.
I'm single, I'm single. When
Well,
I'm
let me
with you,
ask
I'm
you
with
this.
you.
Let me ask you this. So, is this before sex or after sex? Are you automatic? No, are you automatically in a
Oh.
relationship after you have sex? Is that how women think?
No.
Okay, so he
I'm
can still
saying-
be. We can still say we're single and doing what we want after we have sex the first time.
Probably like once or twice. Once
Not
you
once or
consistently having
twice.
sex with a girl,
Is that his
trust
standard?
It's
me,
not
believe
even
that.
just it's not even just consistent sex. It's you know what I'm saying? Like dudes be like, I'm single. You see the meme, I'm single, but they showing them Netflix and chilling all the time, all that. You know what I mean? Romantic dates, all this. Like
Jada?
obviously it
Jada?
obviously this is going further than
Right.
just two people just
But
talking.
Keyword go in.
go
Until we get there.
He didn't commit.
Until we get
Hey,
there.
I feel like relationships have to have that conversation. You have
Well-
to have that official. You don't get to just say we're in a relationship just because you want to keep humping on me.
I mean, you at some point you feel like, dang, I thought we was better than this. Like you're texting me group text with 5 other people. Good morning. Like we ain't past this.
Man.
Whoa,
Okay.
that's what you was
You
doing.
know what I'm
I
saying?
slipped up one time. I slipped up. Hey, hey, players mess up.
This was in the relationship.
No, this was
all this was
before
while
the
we were
official?
talking. All this is why
This
we're
was-
talking. I ain't did nothing while we were together.
Okay, wait,
I have
Rob.
done nothing while with her.
I
Everything
get that,
was
but
while we were
Rob,
talking.
what did you say on that post? You
My
said
face
men
hurts.
like to keep that gray area
Yes.
so they can keep doing what they want to do.
That's true.
That's
That's
what
true.
messes up the
Yes.
mind of women that you're talking
Hey,
to
that's
because
good
it's like
information.
That is true.
Hey,
Right.
Hey,
Hey.
listen, photo B.
Yes.
Stay out the gray area.
Don't do that.
You commit or you don't, or
Period.
or you just keep having sex and saying we're not together.
Well, just keep it real.
As
Yeah.
long, I mean, there's
I learned that
Well, we
about
was young.
25. I learned that about
right.
25.
We was like 19.
We're
so
not together.
if there's an understanding that we're talking, but we're still single until we communicate of anything further than that, then we are still equally fully
Hey, did you
single.
feel rushed? Is that what happened? You felt rushed to be
I
in
ain't
a
gonna lie, I did.
commitment?
Hold on,
I ain't
hold
gonna
on.
lie. In the beginning,
So-
I did.
I don't think Steph was done.
Oh, yeah, my bad, go ahead.
Because we're getting to the point of how they broke up, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
Oh, yeah, let's do it, let's do it,
was
let's do
it was the underlying issues of that just going into the race because now it's like we've gone through all these different things, all these different arguments of other females or text messages and this and all of that, and then it's just like, oh, we're official now. So it's like all that stuff does not just erase away. You know what I mean? And when you're young, you don't really know like, okay, we need to address these different things before we continue on with the relationship. So
How long did you guys talk before you made it official?
6 months.
Okay. So
Yeah, so you had plenty of
Right,
dirt
no, I'm
time.
saying
You had
again.
plenty of dirt time.
By
Hey,
that
but
6
but
months,
you
it
know
was
what I
like,
like?
what
You
we
know
doing?
you know what I
About
like?
3 months in, she was like, "What are we doing? What are we doing?" I'm like,
No,
damn.
but I do like that there was that time to date and to figure each other out and to talk and to have those conversations and then because I think that's why you guys lasted because right now people want to be like I talked to you for 3 weeks, we're together.
for real, that's right.
Not really. I mean,
You can.
Why would you?
well,
Why would you?
Everybody's story is different. Some people might just
Yeah.
connect faster.
What do you know about a person in 3 months?
but
No, what do you know about a person in 3 months?
But so I don't think that to me I don't think that's the issue. I can meet somebody and then say, and I'm not saying this is me per se. I'm just saying just in general.
I was gonna say. All right.
I can meet somebody and say, hey, look, I think we vibe. Let's try to get into a relationship, and then you're in a relationship for a day, and you date for a year or 2 years before you then say, I want to get engaged. I think it all depends on your intentionality.
So you're just
Right.
throwing away
Yeah.
your gray area time in a day.
I think you can if you know what you want.
Why would you
Yeah.
do that?
If you know what you want.
Right,
I'm
I'm
just
saying,
saying,
if
like,
it-
because,
you
like,
don't
if
know.
I've
Hey,
been,
you know what you want, but you don't know the other person.
well, but you don't know the other person if you talk for 6 months.
Yeah.
You can have
Yeah,
a better,
but
you can have a better
exactly,
idea.
but at least they had that idea. These people out here,
No, yeah, I would agree with that. I think
Okay.
that you do need.
you
I
gotta
think
have.
you do
Some,
need
I'm not saying it
proper
has to be
courting
6
and dating
months. I'm
time.
not saying it has to be 6 months. It could
It
be
could
2
be
months. It could
6
be 3
months
months.
and you not having the right conversation or asking the right
Right.
questions
Exactly.
anyway.
See,
Right.
that's true.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
my
you said,
point. That's my
attention.
point.
And
I
what
got
you
you.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Intention.
I'm just playing. I'm just doing the you
Devil's
thing,
advocate.
playing the. I'm
Devil's
doing what you
advocate.
do on the other
Yeah,
shows.
I do the right thing. All right. So okay, so you guys broke up,
Yes.
right? You guys got back together, obviously. So now things
real like
are.
jagged edge stuff. Like I really was like, if we get back together, trust me, it's gonna be like this is God sent. Like I told her
Yeah.
then, I was like, if we get back together, like maybe later on in life, we'll see. 5 years later, she back on my
5
line.
years.
Back on your line.
It took her 5 years of mistakes, heartache, and pain.
5
No, it
years
took
later,
him 5 years.
and
Yeah,
It
It
took
was
you
welcome
5 mistakes
back.
hey,
hard years.
2 failed relationships later.
2 failed relationships, 2 whole ones.
He didn't even have none. So I just
Two failed relationships
Oh, so
later
you had
by
none?
her.
You was just
no,
out there.
no, well, I had a serious situation.
Yeah,
Feel me?
an entanglement.
I had a couple of serious situations.
Hey, Dave. had a couple of
I had a couple of serious situations,
man.
but it never got to that point of being official. You know, so.
So
basically,
were
I
those
had
1
two
year
failed
situations or 6 months?
They were both about 6 months.
And you just never made it official.
He had to, he had to go through his journey.
He might.
Right, you know that's
He had to
it.
go
This
through his
nigga
journey.
might have been a dirtbag.
His journey back to where he was supposed
Back
to.
to where he was supposed to be.
Yeah, he's starting
Hey,
to shape up like a
Hey, I
dirtbag.
ain't gonna lie, you know, young single me, I did my thing. You feel me? Like, you know, I
Knocked
was
him down
I was
like
kinda
dominoes?
Cute, I was kind of cute back then. You feel what I'm saying? Kind of worked out for for the
Oh,
player.
man.
You know, and then being in Houston, being from Cali,
Oh, it's easy.
you already know it's like they
It's easy.
love you. Like,
Hey, you
like
roll
they
your. She
love-
rolled her
come on,
eyes.
I'm
She
like,
rolled
that's
her
the reality
eyes.
of it. Like they love
Hey,
California people, other places. So
when I travel playing sports in high school and AU and man, It's easy.
Hey, I'm telling you, like they love.
Oh, you
Cali
from Cali?
foods.
Okay.
I will say
Me
though,
too.
what I will say about the breaking up and then getting back together, I feel like when we started talking the second time, I mean, I knew him, but I feel like the conversations was different because it was like I knew what we didn't have the right conversations in the beginning before.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So let's
You're
talk
19,
about it.
right?
You know
You're
what I
19,
mean? Like,
you're young.
yeah. So I'm
Right.
like, let's talk about it, and we was able to just wipe the slate clean. Let's start over.
I like that the 5-year time span. I like that.
You know, for sure. I mean, honestly, I feel like, again, God don't make no mistakes, man. I feel like he did it exactly how it had to be.
Facts.
Because when I got, like, prior to us getting back together, I just really got to the mindset, like, you know what? If I want something to work, I have to really be intentional. Like, I was already in that mindset, like, you know what? Like, if I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. Like, I can't be talking to you and talking to 3 other girls. I can't do that. Like,
Right.
I can't multitask. I'm not that good at that.
And it's too expensive.
Exactly. So
It
I'm
costs
like,
way too
come
much
on.
money
Like,
to try-
it's
it's
hard
just-
to court more than one woman.
Bro, look at the he
Huh.
did the head
Come
shake.
on.
And the
Hey,
stress.
No. But
It's
hey,
just-
shout out
it's too
to
much. It's way too much.
maturing.
It's
Yeah.
way
Yes.
too much.
That's it was
It's
just
all
way-
it was.
growth.
I'm not.
In
I'm
between
not
time,
taking
you
8
guys
people
had
to
time to
dinner.
grow.
I'm
Right.
not doing that anymore. I'm not
Exactly.
taking 5 people to dinner anymore.
That's that, because
I don't
even
have
when I,
$100 5 times a week.
Facts. Because even when I got back with her, I was like, I'm finna cut every girl I'm talking to. We talked for 6 months while I was in Houston and she was in California before I even moved back. So we talked for 6 months of real life just talking. And that to me was what really got us to
That's
this
the
point.
bars. That's
Because
the bar.
that 6 months of no physical. We couldn't do anything. And then back then, I had an Android, so I couldn't video chat with her, nothing like that. I'm just
Shout out
saying.
to
So it was
Android.
like, it was
Wait,
just
what?
different. It was just different.
Shout out to Android.
Shout out to
Weak ass
Android.
nigga.
Hey,
What
go
you
crazy,
talking
Android.
about,
Hey,
bro?
I like the Galaxy
it.
series. I'm not going to act like, you know, we're not doing this debate. Okay, I'm just telling you what I had then and why I couldn't.
I don't even know that was
video chat
important
her.
to bring up.
Anyways, all we had was conversation. That was the point of that.
Right.
And
That's
that laid
on that.
that laid down
And
the
then
foundation.
laid down the foundation.
I
But when I moved
like
back
it.
home, we've been able to rock ever since.
I
And-
like the
and,
whole
you know,
whole story just seems divine, bro. When you got
Hold on, the whole story.
Yeah.
We only at the first part. Can we get through the
No,
story?
the reason why I say the whole story because they're now married.
Yes,
I
they
know
are.
what the end of the story looks like.
Oh, that is.
He like,
Hey,
I
look,
But
both these old broke butt people from Sacramento go out to Texas.
Right.
They meet. They come back. He's still broke because he's still out there. He ain't.
You know,
made
I'm
it back to
trying,
Cal-
you know.
She
I
out here
understand.
living her life. They talking for 6 months, right? After he did host stuff for 5 years.
That's
Oh
right.
my God.
And she also had her moments of 2 failed relationships. Clearly,
And her whole stage during that time.
Oh,
I was
Wow.
I would never say. Give him the
Oh
womp,
my
womp, womp, womp.
gosh.
That was admitted from you. Sorry. And I still took her back, okay? I never asked her anything either, okay? I never asked her anything.
I still took.
I still
I
took her
can't
back. That's the
stand
love of my
him.
life
Hey,
forever.
You know what, sir? You're a hell of a guy.
So,
Because you know what? Because you didn't ask
Come
me the
on.
questions.
For what?
Me either.
Hey, I already knew the answers.
Hey.
I already knew the answers for a couple already. I already seen them.
Oh my
What
God.
I'm going to ask for?
What for? What? So you can
What
get
I'm
your,
asking-
so you
What'd
can
you
get
do
your
with him?
feelings hurt.
What'd you do to him?
So you can get
What
your
all
feelings
happened?
hurt. So you can get your feelings
So I
hurt.
can be mad. I
Hey.
can be hurting. But like,
Hey, shout out to the real niggas who understand
well,
that you
do
don't
you
ask
feel
that
do you
question.
feel like that's important to have conversations
About what you did?
about past relationships? No.
No.
I'm not about to be mad at you.
You know what? And I told him I feel like that's why his other relationships didn't last because you spent too much time talking
talking about
me.
Steph.net.
facts.
The juice.
And I'm saying, I ain't gonna lie. And that's the thing, like, you don't really think about it, but like, damn, it's crazy because all I did was talk about Steph ass when I wasn't with her.
Steph ass.
And then now that I'm with her, literally people be like,
And then
like-
want to
like,
block me on Facebook and
Good.
stuff because I'm talking shit because you talk about me.
I don't care. Don't
Like-
come at me on my sub. Get off my stuff.
Like,
It's my
I see
page.
you.
Oh, you responded to the subs directly?
No,
Savage.
she was subbing back.
No,
Savage.
yeah, no.
Uh-uh.
First of all,
I was coming on the post.
Oh,
Oh,
you
you
was coming on the post. Hey,
Give
she
her the
wanna-
ding,
she
ding, ding,
on the
ding.
post straight. What? She on the post like, I'm glad to see you still doing the same thing for your new girl you did for me. I'm like, if you don't get the hell off my page, you don't get your blocked. You don't get your
Whatever.
ass on.
All right. All right. So y'all both went through y'all journeys.
Guess that's her in real
No
life. What? That's her in
Trust
real
me.
life.
And I still signed up for life.
No
And
questions.
I still signed up for like crazy, right?
No questions were asked. You guys got back together.
I took it back.
Okay, so now we're at the point that we're married. So,
Oh my
and the reason why I said that we don't know the story because the people that are listening don't know the story.
Right.
We know that they're a dope ass married couple, but they don't know that. So
Relationship goals.
Obviously-
That's my new Will and Jada for show. Steph and
Coach
Coach D-Lo. Steph and D-Lo.
New Will and
Go by
Jada,
Will and
I'm
Jada.
weak.
Right. I was like,
yeah.
We don't need no Will and Jada.
Okay, so
Type
obviously,
love around here.
Like they had their time apart. You feel me?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but they were apart, not
for
married,
real.
not
All right,
married.
so
apart.
let's save the reaction for the internet wins again. So during your marriage,
yeah.
what have been some of the challenges that you guys have faced as a married couple? We know you guys are a dope couple, but obviously people put married couples on pedestals, right? And don't see the behind the scenes. So what are some of the issues or challenges you guys have had to overcome?
I'm gonna say honestly, for us, our biggest challenge so far has been getting in the house, and that's really a big issue for a lot of young married couples is getting that shelter. Like, you know, we basically been bouncing around. You know what I mean? Like staying with my mom, staying with her mom. You know, like bouncing back and forth. So honestly, I feel like for me, it's been just being able to, like I said, me as the man, me as a leader. Like, I know, especially dealing with my wife and how she is as far as with certain things. I know she wants things to be a certain order. I know she needs certain things to be a certain way to where she can function. And so knowing that, it's like, dang, like I can't do it yet, but I want to. Like, you know, so like for me, just being able to finally get to these different goals and reaching them. But you know, our main thing since we've been married is just getting that house together, and now we're finally at least in the house and working on getting it
They
absolutely
built
perfect.
a house.
So,
They ball themselves.
you know,
I feel
we
like
trying.
I feel like that's important because I feel like people always look at challenges in marriage as being cheating or arguing or and it's like there's other challenges. Like there's other things you have to face.
Right.
You have to face, damn, we got to move back with my mom. Like as a married couple, that's hard.
That's hard, yeah.
That's a hard challenge to face, and that's a hard arguments and conversations to have.
right,
You know,
man.
that's
When
been one of the biggest things.
Right, for
you know
sure,
what I'm
because,
saying?
Because you're having arguments where it's like she's telling me she wants to have her own place, and I'm telling you, shit, I'm trying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can only do so much.
Right.
You know, then I've been transitioning through jobs. Like I just said, I just got a new job.
Right.
I haven't worked since February, but I refuse to be a part of that 14.9% of unemployment, so I never filed. So I was not making no money, just hustling, doing my training sessions, doing ISSS with my mom and my dad. You know, again, I'm dealing with a sick father right now. Like there's literally like real life issues that I'm dealing with.
That's a real struggle.
To try to, you know what I mean? And that's things that we talked about. Like, dang, like what we gonna do? You know, how this happening to you is going to affect you or us, or how is that going to make you feel afterwards? Like, I can't say how I'm gonna be after my dad dies. I can't say I'm gonna be the same D'Angelo, the same energy all the time. I can't say that, but I know I can't be happy with you and be sad with her. You know what I mean? Like, she
That's
don't
facts.
deserve. You know what I mean?
She don't deserve the
she
weaker
don't
side
deserve
or
to
the
get
lesser
the weak side.
side.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if I'm gonna be weak, I'm gonna be weak all the time. If I'm be strong, I'm be strong all the time. So it's like, you know, you just gotta really you really think about that.
This
Like,
nigga's my hero, bro.
Jeez. Hey man, like it's just real though. Like, cause again, like I know, like her and my relationship is so like close, tight knit, and I know when that time comes, God forbid, but when it comes, I know that's going to be so hard on her, and I know I'm going to have to be there for her, and that's going to change her. To not be able to pick up that phone and call her mom is going to affect her, and so my job in that moment is going to be able to be there for her, and so it's like those are the type of things I worry about. I'm not worried about cheating. I'm not worried about lying. I'm not worried about none of that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? That's not something that we really worry about in our relationship, although she be questioning my phone a little bit too much.
I be
but
playing with him.
you play a lot. It ain't the game when it's all the time.
No, what I be trying to tell him
be
is like
questioning a lot.
it comes from a place of I'm genuinely nosy. Like if you click your phone right now, I'm finna be
She
looking.
do always be in my phone screen.
Facts.
She
Just
do always
nosy.
be in my phone screen.
She really is.
I just
nosy.
be nosy.
It's just peanut butter and jelly
I be wanting to know.
sandwiches
Like
over
when
here.
he's talking to somebody, I be sitting there like I can't wait to what's going on? What happened?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
already
She
asking
can't wait.
questions.
She don't wait. I literally, she be like, who is that?
Nah,
What's
but
it talking
see-
about? I'm like,
See, but he capping though,
Can
because
I
every
have
time
the
we on the
conversation?
phone, where he be at? on the phone in our video.
I be right there. First of all, that's because y'all my homies too. So I come and say hi. But since it's a problem, I won't speak no more, sir. I'll say my black ass off the camera.
Hey, no colorism.
No, we good, man.
Hey, so I thought it was dope because usually when you talk about relationship struggles, it's always you always hear insecurity, and I think that you guys have gotten to the point where life is what life is, and we got bigger fish to fry.
Right now,
right?
Yeah.
But I feel like both of you guys do go out of your way to make each other feel secure in the relationship.
Yes. Right.
But then you also have to understand that she still has a business and a life and,
Right.
and a fan base, and he also has a business and a life and a fan base. Because niggas be turning up on Steph page, if you notice, bro. They be getting out of pocket, bro.
You know.
All right? And I never see you trip, bro.
Yeah, nah,
they be
you
out
know.
there trying to flirt, you know what I'm saying? Trying to
Little
bag it.
quick little-
Can
yeah.
you still have friends? You know what I'm saying?
I ain't worried.
But see, and again, that's my thing. Like, at the end of the day, when you know you're a man, it shouldn't matter what any other person's intent is. Like, you know I'm going home to you. So I don't care what Lil Susie or Lil Lily name or whatever her intentions are, it don't matter.
Right.
'Cause
Facts.
I'm not worried about
Facts.
it. Like, literally, like, I remember a time she really was like feeling
She
like a girl
focused.
was all up on me, like tripping.
She
I
was.
When I tell you, I didn't even notice this girl. I didn't even notice she was doing none
She
of that.
was just.
Women always notice, bro.
Girl.
Hey,
I was
even
tripping on her.
if we don't notice, bro.
Bruh, all
you
of
know
a sudden-
what a woman's favorite line is when they start trying to tell you something. I'm a woman, I know.
Right, bruh. She's sitting here like real life. All of a sudden, she on my lap. All of a sudden, she like.
I was like, girl, he ain't that funny.
You no, step on my lap. No, the girl was just laughing too much. I was just too funny. She was laughing.
Hey, for the
too
same
much.
reasons, like she like you, nobody else can
Exactly,
like you.
like
Period.
exactly, like. There's
Why
no
she
way.
laughing so hard?
That nigga's hilarious. What are you talking about? He's one of the funniest people we know.
Oh my
bruh.
God.
Hey,
So-
but no, but that's facts though, bro.
Right. So
I just think
I'm
that's kind
definitely
of dope.
glad. I'm definitely glad that again, like that's not something like I don't feel like she's insecure about me or what I do, you know. And again, like shit, with my mentor, like even with me, I have a mentor in training now. My trainer is now my mentor. Like you have to understand, you're stronger with somebody else, with a team. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm never gonna be like, oh, I'm a mentor, I'm a coach. I don't need you. Nah, I could always grow. I could always get better. So again, first thing my mentor told me, never, ever, ever mess with no clients. Like I don't care. Like
Facts.
you don't mix your money.
With your,
With,
yep.
you don't do it. Like you never risk your
Don't
do
shit where you
not
eat.
do not
That's what they say.
risk your marriage for any of these clients, no matter what. I'm like, you ain't gotta worry about that with me.
Well, but
nah,
it does come up. But
Oh
it
no,
does
no,
come
for
up.
Jada.
sure. And that's how
No.
just like, and that's how just
Shit.
like,
I
all
didn't
right,
mean
it's
to say
good.
that.
Nigga,
I'm just like-
I'm guilty of fucking around like that in my younger 25 years old, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I made those mistakes and I knew better. You know what I'm saying? But I took out things that I was going through in that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
for you to be able to understand that at that age is incredible to me. You know what I mean? Because it took a lot of us a lot longer to understand.
Right.
Even in your bad days. Because me, I never thought I was gonna be a cheater ever. But shit for me was just so bad. I was like, fuck it.
Right.
We gonna get to that story when it is.
Yeah, right. He need a whole
Alright.
episode.
We might bring her.
Well,
we can have the story together.
We gonna definitely have a marriage therapist on the
Yeah,
on the
we
show.
can have that
one
story.
of these
Yeah.
days.
Well, because we so cool that she would come up here, so we can have that conversation.
Yeah, we'll have the conversation. So for
That's
you
dope.
guys, do you guys think what it means to be a good wife and a good husband has changed over time that you've been together? Because we always like have an idea what a good wife, a good husband is, but after you've been married for
Right.
3 years, has that vision changed?
I feel like the base morals is the same, but I feel like what your partner needs is going to change. It's not
Right.
going to stay the same for your whole marriage. So, you know, what you've needed for me has changed because you're going through changes. Your
Right.
father is sick. You know, it's just what your partner needs change. But as a wife, the basics, you know what that entails. I don't feel like that changes.
Right.
I don't feel like that level up to life partnership, whatever that. I don't believe in that.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Like I agree because at the end of the day, like what I expect from you is what I expect from you. Period. It ain't necessarily a standard wife thing. Like I said, like we doing stuff how we want to do it. Like we're not living life off of the
Social
old
media?
school ways, social media, or
Memes.
what our parents did right or
The
wrong.
memes.
The
Like,
meme marriages.
We're doing what is right for us. Period.
Yes.
And that's something that's it's hard for a lot of people to swallow that. Like really, like her parent, like her mom would be hot that we don't take her advice. Her dad would be mad. I'm like, we're not doing it your way because at the end of the day, we see that your way has
It's
got
not
you in
even
4
working
different
right
codes.
now.
Like
Right.
your
Yeah,
way
it's
really
not-
ain't
no
working.
facts.
Like come on, like
She
let's
focus
be,
face.
come on now. Like I look at my mom, and again I love my mom to death. But at the end of the day, my mom was stagnant. My mom chose not to do anything else, and for me, I'm like, no, I want more. I'm not cool with just being on Section 8 and food stamps. All good,
Right.
all Danny,
Right.
but it's made to be a stepping stone, and too many of us don't do that. So for me, I'm like, you know what? I'm never gonna get on that. I'm not gonna get on housing. I'm not gonna. I might get food stamps.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. If they run it,
Come on now, don't play with me. But nah, again, it's just like you gotta understand, like
You learn from
this
your
stuff-
parents from what they tell you, but you also learn from their
good and
mistakes
bad.
too.
That's it. Like
Period.
I know for a fact, my mom did some things that she probably didn't want to do for the sake of making sure we had clothes, making sure we had food, making sure you know what I mean. So it's like I don't want that. I don't
Right.
want that to be the case for my kids. I don't want my kids to have to look at their mom and be like,
isn't
You know what I mean?
Isn't
So-
a good? Wouldn't you consider a good husband or a wife? Wouldn't that just be relative to everybody's individual needs? Can you really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
generalize
It's based on what your partner needs. That's how you be a good wife.
Because you-
if I'm
yeah.
being a good wife by the standard, and that's not what he needs, what difference?
It's
does-
no.
Right.
It's
But
no.
the
different
internet's
than
like,
marriage.
dang, she a bomb
Right.
wife. But my husband is like, okay, but I need A,
Right,
B, and
right.
C.
Because
You're not doing that.
Your how you treat your wife, right? Would if you were, I probably should. If you were married to someone else, her standards might be different as for what she needs as a husband.
Well, I think that's what the question was has your vision of what a good husband or wife changed? And
As
I
far
think
as-
from
as
my,
far
I
as-
think, I was asking them that.
Okay.
So I think for me, and I can only
No,
speak
because I
personally-
want to know because it's such a general question, right?
Right.
But it's only relative to if he was a good guy now, and if she wanted him to be a different good guy now, right?
right. Again,
You
now
understand what
that
I'm
you're
saying?
married, okay, I need you to be a different type.
I need you to be a different type. Was that the question you
Yeah,
asked?
it's just what because
Right.
everybody has an idea of what a good husband is or good wife is going
Right.
in the
And
marriage.
the actual
and then
experience.
after you in the marriage,
right.
has that changed?
Right, you know what? I think for me, because I didn't I never seen a marriage. Literally, like my mentor is the only happy black family I ever seen.
y'all just kicking it, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like
Yeah.
we just living life. Like this
Yeah.
is my life partner in the sense of this is my
Uh-oh.
wife. So I'm just saying this is who I'm with.
Here you go.
If
With
I'm
that
lying.
Will and Jada.
Hey, I'm just saying like
There you
this.
go.
I gotta tell on my chest for our 2-year anniversary. Steph, nigga, big.
Does it say-
17,
does it-
17,
does it
Stephanie
see-
A. Walker.
does it say
forever.
.net?
What?
Come on, bro.
Gotta
Come
get
on, I'm
Steph.net.
matter of fact, this is something I want to talk about. My boy, he basically he feels in like a 5-year review type of situation. Like he feels like basically every 5 years he's willing to bring it to the table and basically allow his wife a way out. Say he's still say he gets obese, he gets lazy, he don't work like he just whatever the case. Like say I'm not the man that you married. 5 years from now, you can leave or give me 5 more years to get better.
He on a 5-year contract?
Right. That's basically like what he's saying. I'm like, see, that's cool in theory, but to me that sounds like a 10-year marriage. Like you signed up for a 10-year marriage damn near. You know, so I'm like, for me, it's all about the process. It's all about their perception. Like I signed up for forever. So 2 years in for me to put a tattoo of her name and saying forever, that's nothing to me because this is what the fuck I'm aiming for, forever.
Mm-hmm.
So granted, yes, forever is the end goal. You gotta do things that you feel like is going to get you to that, or things that are leading towards
Well,
that.
you
So
have to be
get
willing.
this house,
You have to
know
be
what I mean?
willing to go through the fire too.
That's it. Like
You know what
it
I'm
ain't
saying?
gonna always be
Yeah.
peaches and cream. She ain't gonna always be this size. She might get smaller. She might get bigger. She might stay the same. At the end of the day, I can't sit here and be like,
Well,
You
it's for
might.
life. It's for
what
life.
I'm saying.
When you,
might.
To
when you
me,
say
yeah.
vows,
to
that's
me,
what,
I feel like that's unfair. Like,
stuck
'cause
up.
I don't want you to leave me because I gained some weight. I don't want you to leave me because the nigga, no, that's weak. So I'm not gonna leave you out because you lost couple, because you gained a couple
yeah,
pounds.
I got you.
Or you know what I mean?
She ain't gonna leave you for gaining weight, bro. You a coach.
I feel
Nobody
like she'll
want-
mess around.
Nobody want no fat
well, but
personal trainer.
there's other things that come up,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Life
Yeah.
changes. Things
Yeah, for sure.
and there's different seasons,
You
different
gonna change
stages.
as a person.
Yeah.
You not gonna stay the same
That's
person.
all I say. Just as long
You're
as
not.
we're both working towards keeping each other happy, then we should be fine. Like
that's
my
a bar.
goal
Yeah.
is to keep you happy. Like,
That's a bar.
That's-
as long as I do that and you're doing the same thing, there's no reason why
I
we
think
shouldn't.
one of the advantages that they have is originally originally they had that 5-year time span, right? So that original foundation of what they thought they knew of each other could almost be erased, and you got a chance to build a brand new foundation with an understanding of this is how we need to build it. So you didn't have to do a bunch of backhoeing and excavating, and you didn't have to do a bunch of trenching. You can build your relationship on solid foundation and go upward, which is, you know, that's the advantage of taking time apart when things don't work, rather than coming back and then you still got to deal with the hurt and the arguments and the pain.
That's why I feel like those 6 months was crucial, because in those 6 months we were able to talk about all that. We were able to get all that out the way, where when we got together, there was no. When we first got together, stuff, you used to do this, you used to do that. Like, there ain't no situation of me sitting here always bringing up old stuff or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, there's wrong that happened both ways when we were together before. It's been 12 years. What's the point of me in 2020 bringing up some that happened in 2000?
You'd be surprised.
And that's what I'm saying. Again, that is a very, very common thing.
You'd be
but
surprised.
understanding that, I know I don't want to hear nothing from what I did in college.
Right.
Who I look like getting on her about.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
It's like, again, if people really just start treating people how they want to be treated, stuff will be a whole lot easier, because you're literally just reflecting.
That's actually,
what do you like?
Yeah, but that's perspective too, right? Because I can handle a lot. So I think for me, one of the things that I kind of expect is like, you gotta, for me personally, right? I do a lot, so it comes with a lot. So for me, because I know that I'm a person that comes with a lot, there's a lot that I allow.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like you guys understand that you got businesses and so on and so forth. You understand where the business stops and where the home comes back together. Right. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people, I guess they're like incapable of being emotionally understanding how things are supposed to work. And that's what I really enjoy about you guys, because she didn't have to be here. He could have came to us and been like, that nigga's a good looking nigga, that nigga's a good looking nigga, and cool. That nigga's a good looking nigga. I don't want you hanging out with. And then this would never be. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, man, I always shout Coach D-Lo out on my page. Oh yeah,
man. Definitely. It takes a lot of trust.
I'm trying to make you famous.
It takes a lot of trust.
Them first meetings was hours.
Hey, put me on the track.
I said them first meetings was hours too.
Yeah, they were.
At Rob's house.
We were gone.
It was. Yeah.
I mean, come on, bro. He's eating chicken wings and having Jamba Juice.
But but that's what I was saying is that for that to happen, there has to be a lot of trust, a lot of security, a lot of honesty, a lot of communication to be able to understand that I'm here, she's here, nobody's going nowhere. There ain't gonna be no foul, nothing. If there is something that does come up, then it'll be talked about and we can come up with results, because it's for life, right?
That's the problem with today, though, that people don't like to be honest, because I feel like everybody's scared to show like all that, you know, unbotheredness, like
to be vulnerable,
right? And nobody wants to be vulnerable. Everybody wants to be unbothered. I don't care about what you're doing, so they ignore it, even though they really feel some kind of way about it. Like, you not gonna go nowhere doing that.
You have to have those. There has to be room for those conversations. I think for me, even just like moving as I think, I'm extremely open on my page. So in my relationship, you knew what you were getting. Right. There's no excuse. I'm this every day. I'm the same with you guys on air and off air. I'm the same on Instagram and on Facebook. Right. This is what you get.
You have to be authentically you, right?
I can't be nothing else.
And I think, and then I'm gonna get to the next question. I think that this is a conversation we could probably have on a different episode, but I think we have to understand, when you're marrying somebody, you're marrying the person. And I think, like, I was listening to a clip where this guy was talking about, and he said, as men, we were always taught to, and me and you had this conversation, we're always taught to court women for what they can do for us and not for who they are. So when somebody tells you, and just think about it, when somebody says, oh man, like, these are the benefits to having a wife. She can help you clean. She can help you cook. She can help you organize your business. She can help you hold down the kids. She can help you hold down the household. She can make sure that she keeps you on till. She can give you advice. And it's like, where in that did anybody say anything about making sure that you married an actual dope person?
Right.
So you looking for an assistant instead of an actual wife.
And then Rob.
When you
Give
get
yourself
into
the bell,
the marriage,
bro. Ding, ding, ding.
yeah, I gotta give you the bell. And then when you get into the marriage, it's like, then you wake up one day and you're like, I don't even actually like this person.
Well,
because I only married her or him for what they can
the
do
benefits,
and not for who they actually are.
Right.
And I think when you guys had that break, you guys had time to reflect. Then you guys had that 6 months of talking and
He
getting that
wasn't
foundation.
done, man. If you talk about her in every relationship.
Well, I mean, but they had an actual 6 months of actual intentional courting, where it was talking, no physical, it was conversation, and it was getting to know each other at a different stage in life, because you knew somebody, because you knew the past, but now you saw where they got to grow.
And then I feel like for us, it was key for us to not be the same person, people that we were when we broke up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we had to have that time when we talked, because again, if like we were talking and I remember telling him, like, man, if you was like this when we were together, I would have never broke up with you. We would never been broken up.
Yeah,
but
she had to grow up.
Yeah,
5 years.
So I'm saying,
Right,
like,
that's a long
You know what I
time.
mean? So
Yeah,
it's like,
but what do you? How much experience do you get in 5 years,
A
especially
lot.
in 2 failed relationships?
I'm just gonna keep bringing that up.
You get a lot. You get a lot of experience.
Well,
Hey,
experience.
real
and
quick though,
reflection.
shout out to them, because they
hey, good
they
job.
flopped.
You niggas
Hey,
lost.
when I think too, like when you date other people, it's like you start seeing like, dang, he wasn't that bad.
No,
like,
that's true. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what, man. I was married for I think like 7 years, right? And I didn't realize how awful it was out here, right?
It is.
And it's trash. It really is trash. So, but I also didn't realize how much I didn't know and how mature I was not.
Right.
Because I was in this bubble where I was protected, right?
Right.
And then you realize when you get back out there in them streets, look at his face.
She belongs to the streets.
look at Photo B's face.
Photo B already know.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Photo B just want to be
you
in
have
love.
to figure out. So that 5 years, it's just about that for me. 6 years, right? Since then, but in that time, I've done so much growing, so much self-reflection. These conversations that we have on the podcast are a pure reflection of life. When you get to experience life on a different scale, right? We don't have these conversations if we don't have that 5-year growth.
Right.
Exactly.
No, for sure.
So to bring it back full circle,
Let's get it.
because we talked about the growth, we talked about the break, we talked about the courting.
Yes, sir.
So obviously now you guys are at a good place.
Rich as fuck.
What is the best part of being married?
So just being married, period, or being married to her?
Well, obviously you are married to her.
Yeah.
Right,
Don't give
okay.
us a general statement, bro.
Oh, you're
Right, give us a general.
Marriage is great.
A whole commercial.
When you're in a marriage, it's about. Honestly, the best thing about my marriage is just really having somebody that is really there for you. Like, I feel like that's something that's really unappreciated in a lot of senses. Like, there's a lot of people that's alone and lonely. You know what I mean? That like never have somebody that, like people, you said it, saying how like, pets are the only thing that love you unconditionally. You know what I mean? But it's like, I feel like when, to have that unconditional love, you like, oh, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? So to me, when you in a marriage, a real good, healthy marriage, that is unconditional, that like that's how you should feel. Like, hey, I know I'm with somebody that's gonna love me regardless. You feel what I'm saying?
Dope.
So when you have that coupled with somebody that's dope, to where we can really like do shit and have fun together. Like, she's into sports too. Like, we can actually. Unfortunately, she's not with the same sports
a
team.
Raiders
Not like,
fan, bro.
but it's still fun to be able to have, be able to watch these sports, be able to have a conversation. Sometimes it be debates
And
arguments about
you
certain
can
people.
identify all the bad things about her,
Right.
through her football pick.
Facts. Sorry.
Y'all not gonna do this.
Hey, Vegas Raiders all right. They might be all right. We don't know yet. No,
All right. So
they ain't
Steph,
playing
what is the best part of being married?
For me, I feel like it's the same thing. Just having that unconditional love and knowing that somebody truly got your back forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to worry about, kind of like how when you deal with the public and you worry about, how they're seeing you, I feel like a lot of it is based on, like, people deal with you based on, what you can do for, again, what you can do for them.
Right.
I know my worth with him is not going to change.
Right.
It's not seasonal.
Or it'll increase.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be like, oh, well, she can't do this no more. You know what I mean? Like, he's always there for me, like the support, you just can't buy that. Like, you can't. It's so much I can say about him. It's ridiculous.
Hey, black love is real, man.
That's facts.
I
Black
try.
love is real.
I thought she just said her favorite part was the nachos.
Shut up. He's
Easy
amazing.
nachos.
He's
ho.
amazing. He's dope. I think my biggest thing is having to, I won't say my biggest thing, but having to share him with the community and seeing how dope he is. It's like,
Hey, give
dang.
her a bell for
Yeah,
a bar. That's a bar, bro.
and
Instead of being
hold on.
insecure, she's like, yo, look
That's
at
what I
my
was gonna get
man.
to.
Look
So
at my
can we-
man.
Can we talk about that really, really quick?
That's a
So,
bar.
how do you value him enough to share him instead of looking at that as taking away from
And
you?
everybody's a threat.
Because I think a lot of people are married to dope individuals, and instead of letting them be who they are, they're threatened by sharing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's cutting my time, or that's you're too accessible, or you're too. You know what I mean? So how do you?
I feel like for me, he does what he needs to do. And I feel like it has a lot to do with him because he's going to take care of, I know he's going to take care of me. I know he's going to take care of home. First and foremost, like, I'm already taken care of before he's even
Out the
thinking
door.
about what he's
Yeah.
about, about to commit to or do or whatever. When people call, and my wife got the pod today because he knows it's a big thing for me. It's
Right,
an all day thing. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I feel like we take on each other's passions like it's ours. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't no football coach, but I was at every game. You know what I mean? I'm recording, I'm doing, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I feel like when you really love somebody and you care about somebody, the things that they're passionate about, you are going to be passionate about because you want to see them be successful. I want to see him be the best coach out
Right,
here.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's a whole bunch of coaches out, but
yeah.
you're going to be the best one out here, Zach, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see you be great.
Hey,
know,
but
that's
that's
just
a
how it
bar.
is.
That's a bar because it's a very, very rare perspective.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's
It's
why
a
with
very
the,
rare perspective.
with the stuff with y'all, I'm like, once I met y'all, I was like, oh, yeah, it's good. And like, I push her to do it.
This nigga
'Cause
was
I'm
like, ain't none of them smash. None of them look better than me. Put them out there. You good? It's good.
Like, I'm just saying, like, again, it's the energy, it's the vibe.
It's
Like,
the
you know what I mean?
people.
Like,
Right.
at the end of the day, you're going to trust your spouse with people that is trustworthy. You know what I'm saying?
right,
If y'all
right.
was some snake ass niggas, I would be like, nah.
Right.
Like, if
yeah,
y'all
that's-
seem
and
like
that's
real
facts.
life, like if y'all seem like y'all was on some weird shit, or like I couldn't trust her to be alone with y'all,
Right.
like y'all could try to be on some weird shit, then I'd be like, nah, that's out.
Right,
Because
right.
I'm worried about your safety. I don't know y'all. I only
Right.
know her. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So at that point, I didn't know y'all. I only knew her.
aggressive.
That's
You know what I
facts,
mean?
man.
My bad.
Hey,
You know, I'm just,
aggressive.
I'm
You
just,
gotta
you
get
know,
them above
I'm
that.
just saying that's just what
You
it
gotta
is.
be
Like,
protective,
like
so.
that's just the reality of it. Like, it's good. I want my wife to be able to do whatever. And so when it came to that, like, once I met y'all, it was nothing. It wasn't even a second thought to
It
let
was
her do
support.
it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
nothing but
saying? Because
support.
I'm like, no, let's do this and do it because we've been talking about it, and I've been wanting to do a podcast for a while now too. So it's just like to be able to be like, do it. I'm like, because now I'm learning from you doing it, and that's
Right.
cool.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? This is my third podcast I've been on. 3 different podcasts. I'm like, hey, turn up. Hey, people like me. You know,
Yeah, it's
my
true.
3 different
People do
podcasts.
like you.
You know what I mean? My third.
They do.
The community.
This is my third one. I'm just like, you know, hopefully when I start mine, I have a little bit of hype. You know,
Right.
maybe
Well,
we'll see.
and then you got some
Maybe
of the knowledge.
maybe
too, right?
we'll
So-
come to your podcast.
Hey, you know
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
we'll
to
see.
invite the reverb. That's for sure.
For sure. All right. So, we definitely want to appreciate y'all for being so open and honest and vulnerable.
For sure.
So, for the people out there that are hesitant to fall in love or thinking that marriage is not real anymore, it's just a contract, it's just a business deal. What are some practical, or for people that are thinking about getting married, for you guys in your 3 years of experience, obviously everybody's gonna have different situations, but just really quick, what are some practical things that couples could do to prepare for marriage?
Honestly, I would say do your own thing. Like, don't listen to everybody else. Like, shit, don't even listen to me. But I'm like, my thing is like I said, like me and my wife is doing this our way, and I feel like that's the best thing to do is, you know, don't focus too much on what you seen. Well, my mom and dad got married and they broke up, and my grandpa and grandma, you know, I seen these. Like, don't focus so much on what other people's marriages is, because every marriage is an individual marriage. It's
Right.
between you and your spouse.
Right.
So as long as you're marrying the right person for the right reasons, and y'all understand this is forever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like having them type of real tough, real conversations, like, you know, like, you just really gotta know your person, man. Like, you gotta really talk. Like, I feel like people don't just openly say their deepest concerns and stuff. So
Yeah.
you gotta really pry that out of them. You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, I knew with my situation that security and, you know, being somewhere is something that's key to her. Because when you, again, you know, like, somebody moved around her whole life, moved around hella much.
Right,
So
right.
it's like, You want to be stationed.
Right.
For me, I've been in the same spot because nigga couldn't go nowhere, so it's different. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't going nowhere because my mom wasn't moving nowhere. What? We on Section 8, we ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, what? We ain't going nowhere. So that's the difference. Is like, so coming from somebody who I'm like, I've been in this house for 14 years. I've been in this house. I've been friends with this person for this many years. For her, like, I move every other year. I ain't had friends coming from, you know what I mean? Like, and how that affected her. You know what I mean? Moving in the beginning of high school, how that affected her.
Right.
Physically and mentally and everything. So it's like knowing those things, like, okay, I know I can't be sitting here having her bounce around. I know I can't be sitting here like, from job to job. Because not only did she experience that, but she experienced her stepdad going from job to job, always moving the family. So it's like, okay, I know for a fact that if I'm doing that, she's going to be wanting to leave my black ass. Can't do it.
Got it.
So it's just, you just got to really just listen, man. Be willing to talk and be willing to listen.
Bar.
Some bars.
I agree. I feel like I definitely believe in going to premarital counseling. I feel like you need to go to counseling with whoever you are thinking about marrying. Like, you have to. And we did it, and I just, did it because you think, oh, okay, that's what you're supposed to do. But it's so many things that, like, little things that came up that was just like, I wasn't even thinking about that. Right. You know what I mean? We had, somebody tell us, y'all should get a joint account. And I was like, joint account? What? Just little things. And I would never was thinking about it. So, not thinking about it, those are the little seeds that you start to be like, okay, well, tell me more about it. You know what I mean? You have to be open. Right. You do want to be open to I feel like, people that you trust, like, you know what I mean, as far as like relationships that you trust, people that are rooted in the Lord, you know what I mean, like
the Lord,
you
hallelujah,
yes,
you gotta have wise counsel. Like, you can't just be taking advice from memes, the internet. Like, stop doing that.
Jada.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, really dig deep and really find people that you can trust and believe. You know what I mean?
Hello. I would even put on top of that, there's a new thing that's pre-engagement counseling. I think we gonna talk about that on a different episode.
That's definitely could be very useful.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, after they get engaged, they just tunnel vision. They just gonna get married no matter what.
They're looking at the wedding.
Right. So, but we definitely want to thank y'all, man.
I spent all this money.
I was like,
we don't get no return on these deposits.
That's out. We getting married.
We putting out these invitations.
About this rain, this is happening.
Yeah.
These niggas gonna show up and support us.
Yeah.
Facts.
So we want to thank y'all. We want to thank y'all for being so open and honest and transparent. Then Walker showed up for show.
Y'all tight.
And you know what I'm saying? Just with the Jada and Will thing, we want to just highlight healthy black marriages, right? Unfortunately, I think the reason why everybody was so upset is because we don't have enough examples of that, right?
Right.
And then, obviously we know he did. So speaking of which, internet wins again.
Come on.
Hold on.
Let me pull up my PDF.
Okay, PDF.
Let me pull up my PDF.
Internet wins again. All right, we're gonna get some of these are gonna be quick. Some of these are gonna be a little bit lengthier. But so internet wins again for those that are just listening, those that are new listeners. This is when we talk about hot topics, things that are new, that are trendy on the internet. If you go look at our last episode, Black Table Talk, we actually talked about the Jada and Will Smith situation. We talked about what could have or what will happen on the Red Table Talk. Obviously, they had the Red Table Talk, Will Smith and Jada. So we're going to just have quick reactions based off of what we said last episode and what we saw on the Red Table Talk. So this is going to be quick. So we're going to go around the table, give your reactions, what you thought. Were you shocked? Were you whatever? And we're going to just do that. So, Rajiel.
Hey, man. Y'all know how I feel. So I still hold my August was a sucker standpoint. But since I'm not debating with G-Focus, I feel like that pedestal of whatever they were doing is absolutely shattered. Right? You see how the narrative changed from Jada and Will as goals to every single meme for like a week was like Will Smith crying, why she don't want me, man?
Right,
You see all them videos. So, but that's partially why that's mostly why I say that August was a sucker, because he did shine light in areas of their life that they were trying to keep private, and so it did change the narrative and the respect changed. And but I also feel like Jada didn't really take accountability for her actions. It was definitely predatory. I mean, when your son brings a friend around because they think that you're the people that can heal him and help him out and get him better, right? And not just mental anguish, but apparent, obvious physical anguish, right? You don't sleep with your friends, kid. Your son's friends or whatever. You only do that in special places online. You know what I mean? That's
usually a one-time occasion.
That's
every relationship.
Yeah, that's a it's a particular preference for people. You know what I mean? It was just it was disgraceful. And then the last thing, man, this gets my trash as fuck honorable mention. That bad marriage for life, fucking high five, fist pump thing.
That definitely rubbed me the wrong way.
So you go from knowing that we appreciate you for being an incredible marriage, and then you say some dumb shit like bad marriage for life, as if you are recording a Bad Boys fucking movie.
Right.
Yeah. The trash, it's just classless. It's tasteless. Terrible. Anyway.
I think it was a bad joke.
It was a bad joke. But I think just I'm sorry, I don't want to, go ahead.
Oh, how I feel about it. I definitely feel like she didn't take accountability, but I feel like they're coming from a place of it happened so long ago. Like they're kind of just brushing it off because it happened so long ago. We're past this.
Right.
But this is new news to the public.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like how long y'all dealt with it, y'all talked, y'all got past it. This is still new to us. So they kind of just, it happened. We passed it. And that's it. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, they don't owe us nothing, honestly. But I just feel like they really kind of brushed it off. I feel like August is still trash, especially still doing these new interviews. I still love her. I stand by him being trash for that. Cause I feel like the new interviews just really solidify. It's just promo, and it's his life too. But these are people's lives that stuff you making stuff public for your benefit, which is your business to tell too. So, but I can still feel like you trash for it.
According to G Focus,
I could still feel like you trash for it. So
that's fair.
Yeah. From my reaction on the actual show, I mean on the Red Table, honestly, I just seen like a few minutes of it. Will's definitely hurt.
Facts.
Like, Will definitely not dealing with this situation being back public or being public well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he wasn't joking when he was like, "I'm gonna get you back," and she was like, "No, I'm gonna get you back."
He was
like,
dead serious.
I'm serious. Like, trust and believe. You got me messed up. Like, to me, I feel like Will definitely hurting, and Will definitely ain't feeling this whole situation. Jada did not really take accountability of what she did. Bro. The whole entanglement bullshit statement. That's why I'm glad Will did call out like entanglement. Like, really, it was a relationship. Okay, like stop playing. Like, just we already here. You know what I mean? So, I just think I think Will is a hurt man due to this situation. August definitely didn't need to shine this light. I literally be wanting to unfollow him on Instagram every time I see his little shit. And I'm like, August,
I don't follow him.
Right, I didn't even realize I follow. I honestly I started following him like right before the interview of him. Yeah, that's what it was. I seen the interview of him being sick. I seen the little promo of his docuseries. So I was like, dang, I didn't even know that he was sick. I'm like, I didn't know that he was going to. So then I added him. So, you know what I mean? Then it was all this. I'm like, I ain't really feeling how you handled all this situation, bro. Anyways, but yeah, I just feel like Will is definitely hurt, and I could feel for Will because I know how I will feel like Will feels right now. Like if it was me in this
men
situation,
don't take that Will.
It's amazing. Right. One of the things that me and G Focus talked about, like, and even Photo B, is we talked about how amazing it is and how dismissive it is for everybody to be like he's an A-list actor. He's on there acting, right? That's not a man who's acting at all. That dude is crushed, right? And it's amazing how dismissive it is where, like we talked about earlier, if the shoe was on the other foot, they would be destroying Will. There would be no entanglement joke. And that
was my point the last episode was that if it was reversed, what would we be saying?
We'd be
And
saying
we would have been killing Will.
we would have been saying
We'd
take
been
half his
killing.
money.
I said I knew we would be killing Will, but I knew nobody would be caping for the girl.
Facts.
That's what I meant.
And that could be true. I think media wise, I think that you probably have a point there. For Photo B, do you have any thoughts on the Jada Red table talk? That was only 13 minutes.
Yeah, I honestly feel like they didn't really address the actual situation. I felt like they just kind of danced around it and talked about them like kind of like themselves. I definitely didn't like how she was talking about him being very sick, and at the same time, Will like in synchronization said very sick, as if it was almost
planned. Like it was planned.
Yeah, right. It was like, all right, we're gonna have this conversation and shit, but we're not going to talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of person are you that you have sex with someone who's very sick?
Well, as a Will Smith fan, how do you feel about it, BJ? I mean, about the situation. 'Cause I know, like you said, you're a real big Will Smith fan. So how do you feel about how this whole situation panned out as far as for him?
I feel like I don't know. I like well, at least with the memes, I was laughing while crying on the inside. Because I mean the memes were funny as hell, but it's like, why were they really attacking the hell out of Will?
Right, that's what I said.
Exactly.
Why are you? Well, because people want to go off of the well, he cheated. All I said was, I want Jada to have the same energy for Will cheating as everyone else has the same energy for Will cheating. Right. How can we be more upset at whatever Will's doing than the person he's married to? Right. So we're not. This whole thing wasn't because Jada cheated. Right. We suspected that that's what they were doing. It only came out because August threw her under the bus to sell a fucking album.
I feel like people look at men. You're less of a man if your woman cheats, and I feel like that's why men do not tolerate cheating at all. Like they could cheat all. I mean, not them. Whoever's getting cheated, they cheat a lot, and nobody says anything. But when it comes to them getting cheated on, it's a blow to your ego and your manhood, and you can see that in how people are coming for Will. As you know,
right. No one's attacking Jada. I mean, they did have the little They had the little where they were calling her a pedophile or
why you can't control your woman.
But
you can't keep your woman satisfied. All of that stuff.
Because now all of a sudden I hear the little dick jokes. You hear the you're not man enough, right? You're not.
Yeah, I think that stems from the whole. Excuse me. I feel like that stems from the notion of like women are usually the one that leave. Like usually they don't cheat. Like usually they just gonna go. Like so, like
women?
Like usually women.
What notion is this? Is this you talking about a social notion? You talking about reality?
Social notion. Again, I mean, well, women deal with cheating. Men don't deal with cheating.
No, they commit suicide and kill the whole
what?
family.
Like what?
Yeah, if they go crazy.
They not let
like
you come
it's
back
a whole
and
different
cheat.
ball game.
Yeah.
Like men, like
Yeah.
I feel like men aren't built for that.
Well,
like, we can't take well to cheating or like what? Like think about it. Like even if your girl. You just seen him having inappropriate conversations. You're gonna be hurt like a motherfucker.
What?
Rather, again, it's like if we see anything, we tripping. Our girl actually catches cheating, and we like, what you tripping on? What's the problem?
Because I think it's different, and then I'll kind of go into my thoughts. I think we inherently know when women cheat, it is not just physical.
It's not physical.
It's emotional as well.
She is
and
done
for
with
her
your
to
ass.
get there, it is more like she's giving herself. When we cheat, we can be totally thinking about something totally different, and we just doing it because we're trying to boost our ego. We're not emotionally invested into
but does
that
that make it
relationship.
even better because we could just fuck just to fuck?
I'm
it
not
doesn't,
saying.
but
that's
it's-
just-
No,
that's
no,
what I'm
does it
saying.
really make
That's
it
the
any
reason.
better?
It doesn't make it any better, but a lot of when you're talking about the purpose or why, it is absolutely significantly different, right? Because we've been around dudes our whole life, and everything we know, and even in our music is, I got asked this, I hit this, I got to bag this, I got to bag that. Women don't write records like that,
Right?
They are
now,
Right.
but
City girls.
but growing up before we had
We
this,
didn't hear that.
we had this blurred
We didn't hear
line,
that.
as Robin
You're
Thicke
right.
would call it, right? We didn't have that. We had women that were. We had the I'm hurt. Why'd you hurt me? Why'd you cheat? I took you back. I should have cheated. Right? 10,000 times. Like the songs like that, bro. We had records where women were actually, so when a woman cheats, bro, then like you said, it's not just a physical thing. We look at a chick and we're like, yo, she got a fat ass. I'm gonna go get her number. We're gonna take her down and never talk to her again. Women are not doing that. They're like,
well, and we're speaking generally. We're not
generally,
every single
but
situation.
it's definitely like, yeah.
Well, because somebody's going to say, "Oh, that's not why." But look, for one, look, everything we say on this podcast is allegedly. Everything we say on the podcast
in general
is a reaction, and it's a general. So please, I don't want nobody in these comments talking about, "Oh man, they're generalizing how white men and women cheat." No, we're not. It's a podcast conversation.
Hey, I got a real
so what I
question.
want to say, look, can I go in real quick?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Look,
Oh, he got
I
notes.
got notes. You know, I got notes. Listen, hey, no, because I had to really, because they are really good with words.
Yeah.
And they are very specific when they say certain things. I just want to make sure that I say what I need to say, because there was even though it was only 13 minutes, there was a lot. I hate the fact that it was only 13 minutes.
Trash. It shows you.
I hate the fact that Jada started off with being dismissive about what she did. Instead of calling it a relationship, which it was an entanglement, but she uses different words to try to define things so that way it doesn't sound as bad as it should.
She's smart.
You were in a relationship. Just say you was in a relationship. I think what was interesting was she said she was helping him with his health, the mental. She was very sick. And the thing that I didn't, because I kind of guessed what was going on, and the timeline that they laid out was the exact timeline that I said. It was the 2015. They were together. They broke up 2018, whatever. I didn't realize that what they were saying was that they were broken up.
Right.
And that kind of changed the dynamic a little bit, right? Because obviously people were saying that Will may have been cheating with that girl that was on the YouTuber that was on Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Margot Robbie.
Harley Quinn, yeah, her real name. I'm sorry, I don't
Her
even know
real name.
So it was like, oh, they cheating on each other, but it's like, okay, now that makes a little bit more sense that they were broken up and they were both doing their own thing, right? I just did not like how dismissive she was, and how you can tell Will was fed up.
Right.
Yeah.
Will, like, you can just see it on his face. Like, I think him having to relive all that,
oh god,
put him right back in that space of, I'm having to go through this trauma again. I think what was very interesting, what she said she was dealing with a lot of childhood trauma, and she was trying to fix that through healing other people. And if you think about it, Jada's always been like the project, like Tupac. You know what I mean? She's always trying to project somebody. And I think the relationship, why she and Will had such a rocky start, Will didn't really need the healing as much as somebody else did. And I think that is why she was saying that she was unhappy, because it didn't fulfill her healing or her, what she was going through. And I don't know, man.
How do you feel? How do you heal yourself through healing others?
It makes you feel. It gives you the idea
that's the problem. That's the problem with not understanding what your trauma is in real life. Right? You don't get to go out and work on a project. If I'm telling you I'm building a house and mine is halfway done, are you gonna be like, hey, can you start on mine? You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Right? If I'm a personal trainer and I'm 400 pounds, but you see me on a treadmill, I tell you I'm a personal trainer. Are you gonna say, hey, can you train me?
Well, I think it's a little different. It's kind of like if you're in a situation where if you've had your back against the wall and you needed help, and you know how it feels, and then you see somebody else have their back against the wall, they're broke, they don't have anything, and you help them out, it makes you feel good because you're like, I know what that feels like.
Right, so you fuck all of them. That's the problem. See, that's the problem with these healing things that she's going through. She's literally sleeping with these men and calling them healing. Like you said, when you're talking about Tupac being broken and you're talking about August, it's not. It's deeper than what she is. It's deeper than what she can see. Because if you're in a place of you're really healing people and you're caring for people, you're not sexually intertwining their mind and making them emotional.
And that's the problem. That was my point. Is that it could? How did it go from Jaden bringing him around for you to help him, to then going into a relationship? And I think she had a higher responsibility, but obviously she's broken too. And I think that's where I didn't like was that you're having this platform where you're presenting it like we got it all together, we're good, I'm helping other people, when you need help yourself.
Facts.
Right. But you know what? I think at the end of it, I still think that they're going to have one all together. Maybe not.
We'll see.
I think that this has made them have to reflect and have to look deep side. And I think Jada is going to have to really do some real work, like some real serious work. Because
to that, oh my bad.
No, go ahead. You good?
Nah, just to that point you were saying, I do feel that because that's how I am. Like as far as like, but it's just not stem from trauma.
Right.
But I get pleasure or satisfaction. I mean, from helping other people. So that's why it's nothing for me to give or do what I do because it's like maybe it's just my way of self care. Like maybe I just say, you know what, this is what I'm doing.
But you're not.
You know what I mean? Right. That is true. But I'm saying just the notion of you feel me. Doing something for others for you.
Right. But does that, you doing something for others is something that makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
Are you trying to cover up old wounds? That's the difference.
Right. That's exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it is.
And is it hurting? Is it hurting somebody?
Is it hurting someone else?
When you're helping people, you're genuinely helping.
Because
them.
she didn't help August.
No. She did help him. But
he's still hurt.
No, in the long run, I know. But what I'm saying, I think genuinely, it did start.
So he has a different type of hurt than he went into.
Right. He still hurt. He just not to hurt the same way. Now it's hurt. The person's body was hurt.
I would use my vagina to transfer your hurt from this
hurt
to this other hurt.
All right,
DMX.
Power to P.
DMX versus Snoop Dogg predictions. Very, very quickly. Who we think we're gonna win?
Snoopy Doopy, West Coast baby.
Snoop Dogg.
DMX.
Snoop.
Thank you. He the only one. I love DMX. I told him you got to get past that love to look at actual hits.
I can't get up.
Features.
Yes, I'm falling. I got to get up, man. Stop talking.
The lawnmower sitting over there by the tree.
Stop playing with Billy. Come on, stop playing with me. What?
But you have to have a lot.
DMX had a stadium of 1 trillion people.
How many?
Trillion.
DMX may have had the most incredible 4-year run.
I was gonna say 5.
But outside of that,
come on, bro.
That's because the drugs took over. Okay,
Exactly.
It wasn't because his talent wasn't there.
Okay, but in a 20 versus 20,
Snoop got it.
He might have 20. He might have 20.
Snoop got it.
All right.
Snoop, especially with features.
So we got what? So we got 4 Snoops and 1 DMX.
Yeah.
X.
All right.
BJ,
Next topic.
One of these things is not like the others.
One of these things is not like the other.
Next topic. Nick Cannon getting fired from Viacom CBS.
On his day off.
Smokey.
Hey,
Smokey, you got fired on your day off.
So
Craig, you got fired on your day off.
On Nick Cannon's podcast, he made some comments that were anti-Semitism or deemed as being anti-Semitic. He also made comments that we're talking about what his opinion are as far as white people's origin and coming from the mountain, the mountain of Caucasus, the Caucasus Mountains, and talking about how they're savages, how why they have that kind of nature. And obviously, Viacom CBS didn't like it. They, I'm assuming that they allegedly had conversations. He did not take responsibility, so they fired him. He later on first said that bosses don't get fired, and he doubled down. Then later that day, he apologized and said that he was deeply troubled because he offended a community that he did not intend to offend, and that he was sick, and that he, was deeply sorry for the things that he did. So the question that we have is, first of all, what do we think about it, and do we think that he should have apologized for his statements about the about the Jewish community, and then also the comments about the white people?
I think that when you don't have your own, I can't go to work and say whatever I want to say and not get fired. That's just how it is.
He was on his podcast.
It's not.
But you still got a boss.
Is that still under? Was it under
Viacom? Because he fired.
Viacom?
I think his podcast is not under Viacom.
That's what I'm saying. That should be under Incredible.
But
oh, okay.
Is incredibly fired.
So I'm saying, I'm pretty sure that was his stuff, under his production.
Okay, so
where he was talking on.
But when you're Nick Cannon, it's a problem.
So should he have apologized?
I don't think he should have apologized personally. I don't think he should have apologized for what he said because it wasn't like what he was saying was wrong. And listening to the content, listening to how he said his tone, it wasn't like he was like, white people are savages. It wasn't like that. He was literally having an intellectual conversation about the topic.
So you have to be aware of where you are at all times. And sometimes people forget who they are, and sometimes people forget who your content is meant for. So Nick Cannon had to apologize because he offended white people.
Right.
And the people who own Viacom are
White.
they're probably Jewish.
Yeah.
That makes
So
sense.
you got to think about like the players in Hollywood and the people who own television networks, and so sometimes even though you may have an opinion, whether it be right or wrong or factual, there's things that we will talk about that we cannot talk about on air, right? Because I can't share all of my views, right? Because I have to be aware, and this is hard for me. Remember when we first started, everybody was like, Raggio's gonna get us canceled.
We had a whole list of things you couldn't talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I still would like to talk about those things, but I don't. You know what I mean? I don't, because I have opinions and views. So I think the apology was warranted. He could be right. He could be wrong. That's not my place to do such. Right. And then when you're a boss, right, then you shouldn't have to worry about saying things
I feel like people hate having to censor themselves or feel like
I do.
they're censored. You know, they hate that, and
Because
unfortunately,
other people
no,
But
but
you got to.
I'm saying it's but it's real though, because even though this is our platform, there's things I could say on here that it could get back to my job. You know what I mean? And
look at all the Karens.
Come
Look
on
at
now.
all the Karens
You know what I'm
getting
saying?
fired.
And this is the thing, you can't look at that and be like, that's what they get, and then turn around when it happens to one of us and be like,
That's what they get.
you know what I mean? It's like that's what happens. Like it's just unfortunate. You
But I
have
feel
to
like it's
you have to
different when
move
it's
smart.
racially based off of, you know.
But that
Hold on,
is
B.
racially based.
Should he have apologized?
On the basis of if he's apologizing for offending somebody because he didn't have the intentions of offending somebody.
Correct.
Right.
So yeah, if your intention were to offend somebody, then no,
Don't apologize.
Don't apologize.
Yeah,
But if
exactly.
you're just coming out saying how you feel about something and you really didn't mean to offend somebody, then by all means apologize.
But really, what are
Exactly.
you apologizing for?
That don't mean like
Offending
You
somebody.
apologize
right.
'cause
I'm
you hurt people's
apologizing.
feelings.
Right.
But
I
I'm
apologize
saying
for
you're not really
offending you.
apologizing for what you said.
No,
You're
I
apologizing
apologize
for the
when I
fact that you
said that.
offended people.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hold on.
So that
that's-
don't mean
so-
he backed up on what he said. He just apologized for offending the people who got offended, but I still said what I said.
Exactly.
So really, who really cares about apology
I don't know.
being offended?
I don't know if that's what he said, because he said he was going to go back and do some research, and he was going to sit with some rabbis and some Hasidic Jews, and he was going to get educated. So the I said what I said stance can't really be that strong unless he's just doing it for his media apology tour.
Facts.
Right. I think what you guys are saying is absolutely correct. I think we have to understand that just because we have freedom of speech doesn't mean that there's not consequences that come behind what you say, right?
That
so
part.
if you are going to say I said what I said, then you need to be prepared to deal with whatever's going to come behind that, right?
Right.
So and for him and being in media so long, he should know that. And he should know, and I think
He just fed up, bro.
Nick's issue
Right.
was he had barbershop conversations in mixed company.
Yep.
That's something that you should have behind closed doors. That is
Yep.
not something to be having on the podcast. And my thing of it is, if you were going to have that conversation, like if we're having a conversation, like you have a 49ers hat on, right? So if we're having a conversation, and let's just for example, if I'm talking about the 49ers to somebody that doesn't know anything about football, to me, that's irresponsible. If I'm
Yes.
going to talk about the 49ers, I need somebody that can then counter what my
Right.
thoughts are, what my opinion is, that has facts.
Yeah.
Because if I tell him, oh, this, and that, they're the worst team ever, blah, 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 and they've never won a Super Bowl, and if he's never seen football before, and he hears that, he's going to think what I'm saying is true because he trusts me. Unless somebody on the other side is able to say, no,
I just got
that's
a
not
49ers
true.
update just now. See that?
Perfect. So you would then be able to counter that and say, no, here are the facts.
Right.
So, and when you have somebody on your platform where you
Vibrates.
don't have anybody to contrast that,
yes.
I think it's irresponsible.
Right.
And I think I think he should have apologized.
Yeah.
The other part of it, I think, is when you own something or when you are a boss or entrepreneur,
You can't get fired?
your actions will also affect your business. So, and if you are employing people that have other families that they've got to go home and answer to, I just think you have a higher responsibility because your brand and how you present yourself will affect their ability to make money.
So you're saying B.
Yeah.
Simone
So Nick-
can't have a
right.
job
I feel like
anymore.
I
Wait, so
agree
Nick
with-
was irresponsible.
Yeah, I feel what Rob is saying though, because I know we aim to do that. We're not gonna sit up here and talk about childhood trauma and not have a professional here
Right.
to be
On
we
purpose.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
On
We're just
purpose.
talking,
Yeah.
off of opinions versus actually having some people that could really give real facts.
Right. So if the facts are jacked up, we can blame our
Yeah.
guests.
Right.
You feel me?
Facts. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
if you was gonna talk about, he should have had somebody from the community that could
right.
speak on
Yeah.
their behalf.
Right.
And it would have been completely different.
I feel like you said, if you the bigger picture is, I think it was reconciliation for his businesses, right? Because he does have to go back, and now you got the cast of Wild 'N Out with no Nick Cannon, and it was already on the decline, right? A 20-year run.
Well, actually,
is
that was
great.
actually starting to boom back up. Honestly,
It was.
The
They just
tour
been
and
on
all
tour and
that.
stuff. I'm like, they actually
I'm-
was starting
well,
to boom, but I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
tell
I
you
don't
what,
watch it, but it is
I'm
doing
gonna
good.
tell you what, it's not one of those things that we all are sitting down.
Yeah, nah, we're not
Right,
worried about it.
right.
personally.
But
30 plus.
now you still got all these people that, like you said, are employed, right? B. Simone gonna have to eat them words about entrepreneurs and all that. You know, you can't be employed to someone who also is employed to also employed, and you know, it's just gonna be a bad look, right?
Right.
And so they got their own personal stuff. She's got to pay back lawsuits for books.
Right.
You know, a lot of people are being affected by Nick Cannon's.
Yep. And I think that it highlights the importance of owning your brand, your media, your content.
And
and
we
your
were all under
platform.
the impression that he did own.
Well, he said
Wild
that
'N
they
Out.
swindled him out of Wild 'N Out. I don't know how you let somebody
That's what
swindle
I'm
you
saying.
For
out
20
of something
years?
that you created.
For 20 years?
It say Nick Cannon presents.
Is that why he left? Because he wasn't. Wild 'N Out was gone for a little minute, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
No,
was
it's
gone.
been good.
I'm not
It's
too
been-
sure.
no,
It-
no,
it-
no, no,
Yeah,
it's-
Wild 'N Out's been touring and all that.
No, but I'm saying before it really boomed back, I feel like it was
Yeah, I thought
gone.
it was off for a
It was
while.
off
Was
for a
it?
second.
It might have been some
And it
drums
might have
behind the
been
closed doors
because
there.
of that. But I mean, obviously he came back. But
He's such a Nick Cannon has to be. He has the Masked Singer. He has all these other competition shows, and he has the podcast. I mean, that dude touches so much media, right? I think that like he had a moment, and I think it's a learning experience for him. And like you said it the best. The barbershop talk is what I there's things at the barbershop I wouldn't even say in front of my chick.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So there's some conversations that are preserved from my fellas that, you know, the group chat knows everything.
Facts.
But you know what I'm saying? So he had those. He messed up, man.
Can't have culture conversation in mixed companies sometimes.
You can't.
You just can't. I don't think you
can't.
should ever. But
Well, how could they agree? How could the Jewish community agree with anything that Nick Cannon
right.
said?
And you need to have some facts to back it up. So
yes.
all right. All right.
Womp womp, Nick.
Tory Lanez.
It's
and
Tory.
Meg
Hey,
Thee
can you give him the
Stallion.
womp womp womp?
Well, we don't know. Everything's allegedly.
Everything's alleged.
Everything's
There's no
allegedly.
confirmation behind it. Nobody said anything. All we know is she got shot in the
all we
tub.
know is Lil Juju on the
And he had-
beat said Tory Lanez days is numbered.
So okay, let's
I
get
didn't
into
hear
it. So Wednesday at I think it was 4 a.m. in the morning.
I got the
You know,
same-
my
I got
mom
the
used to
same
tell me that
news.
ain't nothing open that past 12
Nothing good
o'clock
after
except for
yep.
you know some.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know. I
Little
forgot.
boom boom and a
I never
spoon
listened
spoon.
to her. So 4 a.m. in the morning.
We been at places been shot up, bro.
Yeah.
I've definitely been in places that. Jeez.
Everybody knows the headlines, right? We also know the headlines. So allegedly, Tory Lanez was in an SUV that was chauffeured coming from a Hollywood party. Kylie Jenner was allegedly there, right? Even though it was on IG. So in the car or in the SUV, Tory Lanez allegedly was arguing with Meg Thee Stallion and one of her friends. And somehow there ended up being shots fired. Okay. After the shots fired, they were pulled over. There's video of Meg Thee Stallion being told to come back to the vehicle.
Clearly bleeding from her foot.
Bleeding from her
limping.
foot, right? Because she was shot in her foot, or there was fragments from the bullet that got into her
Well,
foot.
she said it's from glass.
It wasn't from glass. It was shots. Right?
That's what she said.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Right? And then they have since upgraded it to saying that she was assaulted, and Tory Lanez was put in jail. Then he bonded out.
$35K.
So everything's alleged.
What was his charges? 'Cause I thought it was just a gun.
It was
like
it
a-
was
It was
concealed carry.
concealed
Concealed
carry.
weapons with no
But now
license.
he's a suspect as far as the assault for Meg Thee Stallion.
They upgraded him to an investigation for assault with a deadly weapon now.
There you go.
I think she's probably not. Obviously, she's not
She's not gonna press
cooperating.
charges.
She's not cooperating.
Nobody's cooperating. They've already said that. The witnesses are not cooperating.
So they were like, "Who did it?" She's like, "Ugh,
So
no."
again, this is not the new CBS CNN podcast. Okay, We are not making any fun of this situation at all because she actually came out and said that she's traumatized and that she does not understand. Basically, I'm just paraphrasing that she's, as a black woman, that she feels like that she's not protected and she feels like that she's traumatized, and basically everybody's laughing at it. So it started off kind of as a funny situation because everybody was making fun of Tory Lanez' height. Because he said that he's 5'7", and then the police report
I don't think
said
people
that he's 5'3".
really knew that Meg was shot at first, though.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, we did know that Tory Lanez is 5'3", 120 pounds.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then as the story started to develop, then we started realizing that she was actually harmed.
Because they were saying foot injury. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like
she said it was glass.
Yeah, so no, I feel like people didn't know that she was actually shot. It was
And-
like, oh, Tory Lanez had a gun in the car or something. Like, that kind of how the story came out.
Right.
But again, when you're not cooperating.
So what do you think happened? I think that Tory probably popped off at the mouth on some slick late night, and they was like, "Nah, we ain't messing with this Keebler elf-sized guy."
They
And
probably talking about his hairline. They
so
probably talking about that.
he was
them
like,
plugs.
I'm Tory Lanez. You should do what I want, right? And they were like, "Nah," and he was like, "Okay."
I don't know. Somebody said that the gun dropped, and it's of course it's a whole bunch.
I
of
mean, for somebody to get shot in the foot, it like people like this ain't that throwback movie.
He's
This ain't Harlem
5'3",
Nights,
bro. He
you know
probably
what I
shot
mean?
her in the foot.
He probably was like, I feel like he was trying to put it back and shot.
It shouldn't have been out.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That
like,
right
I think it was
there.
something like he probably trying to stunt, like, you know what I mean? And went to put it back and boop.
Somebody.
A cheddar bob.
Really, seriously. That's what I'm like.
shot
I think it was
somebody
like,
else?
I don't think it was a. I just because they are.
It was a
to me-
Plexico burst.
right?
So
Like,
they were-
yeah. Plexico shots in the club. Like, I feel like it was something like that. Like, I think he didn't mean to shoot her because they've been on record on live. They've been having fun. Like they actually cool ass friends. So even if they did get into it,
I feel like,
I don't
yeah.
see him shooting her because he was that mad. So
Hey
I
man, it was,
personally think
it was a party. You don't know what
you know what I'm saying?
influences with
I feel
drugs,
like
alcohol.
I
It
feel
could
like
be all
I
kind
feel
of
like
things
maybe he
going
was
on.
on. They was all on because she for sure be drinking. She be drunk. She be drunk on live all the time. So they was probably all on. They probably got the arguing stuff. Just probably got a little bit too far. And for whatever reason, Tory put out the gun, or it came out wherever. But I don't think it was a situation of Tory just really attacking her. But
We don't
Then
know.
why
don't
would
know.
she? Why would she put out a statement that says she feels unprotected?
Okay, and I'm gonna read the
because everybody
statement.
was laughing about
I'm
it.
gonna read the statement in a minute.
Emotionally
BJ,
unprotected.
Right.
what do you think happened, sir?
Okay.
I have no
I'll buy
idea.
it.
I really have no idea.
That's a
it
good
could have been.
answer.
It could have been hella shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a woman who's damn near a whole foot taller than this dude.
Not
and,
damn
you know,
near.
she
She is
be
a whole
upset.
foot taller.
Right.
Fruit
You know
roll
what
up.
I'm saying? She could have been talking shit because he had to be putting in the car seat in the
Right.
back.
Shut
And
your
he
little
didn't
ass
want to do it. He
Shut
shot
your
her.
little ass up.
I don't know.
Yo,
Little ass nigga.
Are you petty?
But all right now everything's all speculation. Nobody
The
really
little
knows.
ass
It's
finna
all
suck me.
speculation. Yeah.
I feel like she's trying to. I feel like it's a situation where it's somebody that you cared about, or obviously you had a good friendship with, and a situation got out of hand, or however it got out of hand, and I feel like in a way that she's still trying to protect. You know what I mean? Him. You know what I mean? Because I feel like she wouldn't be trying to protect him for no reason. You know what I mean? Obviously something got out of hand, or something went the wrong way.
It's the same situation.
But she knows what the consequences could be
right.
for
his
him.
career, right.
not just for his career, for his life.
Period, right. I mean, isn't that the same? Didn't it happen with Rihanna? Like, didn't Rihanna like kind of like lie about what happened at first or whatever with the?
I don't think she did. She cooperate.
like-
that was so long ago.
I don't. But
remember.
again, I just feel like it's hard. You know how black people are about when it comes to the police.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We handle our own shit.
So what Meg said, she said, black women are so unprotected and we hold so many things in to protect the feelings of others without considering our own. It might be funny to y'all on the internet and just another messy topic for you to talk about, but this is my real life and I'm real life hurt and traumatized. Juju on the beat said Tory Lanez's days are numbered. And her bodyguard also made a statement by saying that he will never leave her alone to be protected or something like that about people that are shooting at her feet. So I think she has a point.
Yeah, for
what
sure.
I think happened is it was an epic night for Tory Lanez, obviously, for you to be hanging out with Kylie Jenner and Meg Thee Stallion.
Right.
I think it was one of them drunk nights. I think they probably wanted to cut the party short, and he wanted to keep the party going.
So he threw a tantrum.
And yeah, I think he lost. I think
You
he
ain't going nowhere.
I think he lost it. I think he was drunk or high or whatever, and I
Or
think
both, crossfaded.
or both.
Crossfaded.
And
Hey, I
they
mean,
were-
like, Like, you know, when you shorter than everybody in the car.
Bruh.
Hey, and it is a true fact that short people have
that complex.
Complex.
Yeah.
Like that's a
That
real
Napoleon
complex.
Yeah.
That's a
We've
whole-
never been that short, so we don't know how it feels to look at the world
Once
from that
before, when
perspective.
it made sense to be that short.
So I want to touch on the topic that she says that black women are so unprotected. So obviously, we're all here black. So just very, very quickly,
Not me, bro.
does she
I
have?
identify as white.
Yeah. Does she?
Oh, everything's inverted, huh?
Does she have a valid point?
Absolutely.
Because not only she said that, No Name said that too with the whole J. Cole thing, right? Because that was a whole issue that she was getting attacked as a black woman. So in these days, does she have a point? And as black men, how could we do a better job to make our black women feel protected?
First off, don't let him hang out with Tory Lanez.
Number one.
We could start there.
Okay.
The guy, if he has a gun and he's shooting people in the leg,
Right.
clearly doesn't know what to do with it.
Right.
Obviously, he didn't go to the courses because he has no license or concealed weapons permit.
He has a concealed weapons permit, but
Just not for.
but it changes from state to state.
Okay, well, he doesn't have it for California. So
California.
clearly, he doesn't know how to handle a firearm in California. If he went to class, this wouldn't have happened.
Facts.
But I do agree with the black women not being protected. I do agree. Just growing up, man. My mom held everything down, and I feel like my mom had to. She had to wear the weight of everything all the time, of the kids being sick, of the school closed, of me going to jail several times. You know what I mean? My pop being a crackhead in and out of rehab, him going to jail. You know what I mean? And I could just see that. I've seen it, you know, in my own home where I felt like, you know, where my mom couldn't do it, my granny had to step up. And when we went to granny's house, grandpa wasn't doing a damn thing, you know what I mean? And my auntie was living. I mean, my grandma held all of us down. So I feel like it's a cycle that we kind of learn. Those of us who do try to step up, I feel like we're considered anomalies, and it shouldn't be that. You know, there shouldn't be. We at this table in this room, we shouldn't be anomalies. We should be the norm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We should be the people who. There should be more of us that speak up and step up. And I think, man, these conversations aren't good to have in 13 minutes, like the Red Table Talk, because these are really. They're really.
This is deeper conversation.
Right. These are in-depth conversations, but I do feel like I agree with black women not being protected. And I just feel like I feel like we target them on. I say we as general because I'm not inclusive, but we just don't do our job.
Yeah.
That's all.
I agree, obviously. And to what you said as far as seeing your mom hold everything down, the thing about it is it's one thing to hold everything down, but then you still get judged, criticized for how you doing it. You know what I mean? It's like you could be doing all that and somebody's still going to be like, did you see how she did? It's like, it's crazy because we try to protect everybody. We have that superwoman complex, which I learned when I went to therapy. And you try to hold everything together for everybody else, but you're not getting any credit. You still getting criticized for how you do things, when you do things, what you're not doing. You still getting told, you know what I mean, what you're not doing. You know, even when I see like with black people talking about the state of the culture, it's always coming down to all these baby mamas and they not choosing right, and you know all these kids with the broken homes. It's our fault still. So it's like, damn, we holding it down, but it's still our fault.
Still getting marginalized.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's crazy to me. So I definitely agree, and I feel like black men aren't quick to come to our defense. They're quick to
Terry Crews.
be on the other side of things for us. Even like when I was telling him with the whole Chris Brown statement with the nappy hair, all black men could say was, "Oh, I don't understand why y'all so mad or whatever." And it's like, damn, y'all don't never want to listen to what we're saying. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel like when you have that kind of statement from a Chris Brown or whatever, that shit sets us back so far.
Or 50
Yeah, but it's
Cent.
like the
50
fact
Cent
that
in the
black
lane.
men be riding and making excuses. Like, y'all make excuses for each other so much.
True.
And I feel like that's the biggest problem.
That's gang
even when
life.
y'all,
We grew
even
up
when
like
y'all
that.
know y'all wrong. Yeah, it's
We
like
grew up like that. We grew up defending each other and sticking
Right.
to each other because we always.
even when you wrong.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
because that's just how we grew up, right?
Yeah,
The
that's
no
real.
snitch code, the no snitch code
Facts.
encourages that. To ride or die for your boy encourages that.
Yep.
When you grow up in the single households and then your mom is your disciplinary and your provider, you
Right.
learn how to stick together. That's why I said these conversations can't be had in 30 minutes because, like we talked about last time, the generations come up like that, right?
Yeah, that's
and
real.
I mean, we've been disenfranchised to be like this
Yes.
since before we came over here. You wrote a post where you said we're not our ancestors, we're the triangle trade. What was that post that you wrote the other day?
It was a lyric from a song, and some people took it the wrong way. But basically, it was a song from. God, I forgot his name.
But it was fire.
Oh, it was from Locksmith.
Locksmith. It was
He
fire.
said that we're not ancestors of slaves. We are survivors of the transatlantic Holocaust.
That was bars.
Yeah.
The transatlantic Holocaust. So right. So we've been deconditioned to be what we were and reconditioned to live in this. And I don't know how true like the Willie Lynch writings are and how much and so on and so forth. But I wrote a post about the nigger marriage and how it was to defame the male and to uplift the woman, right? So that women would have to bear the weight of all the family, right? And men wouldn't be around and to imprison the men, so the men would never learn how to lead or to be the head of the household or be what the woman needs, right? So when you talk about us not protecting black women, it's because we've been protected by black women as children. And now all of a sudden we're adults and we're expected to somehow have some type of psychological change and role in position to where we're supposed to be the protector.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
When I've always been protected by my mom, right? And most men, when they have a problem, who do they go to? They go to moms because pops wasn't around. Yeah. So I'm used to growing up as my mom being the protector. So when I'm in a relationship and you grew up and you watched your family of women be protectors, what do you want to naturally do? Protect, right? And now when we're here and now we're becoming more conscious of our trauma, right? That's where this big archaic argument comes from, because nobody wants to acknowledge the condition we've been. We're in a condition, right? It's all of a sudden you guys don't protect us. Nah, we've never protected y'all because it's been taken away from us. So instead of, I think with the J. Cole thing, I think when he uses the word tone, it's automatically a trigger, right? And that's the importance of knowing each other's trauma, because I can't tell you to watch your tone, because I can't tell you how fed up you are, right? Because if it's a man telling me to watch my tone, I'm socking him in the face. You understand what I'm saying? So as a woman, I think it's absolutely offensive, but there has to be a level playing field where a man could say, I need you to talk to me this way, and a woman could say, I need you to protect me this way. And it doesn't turn into a goddamn black Twitter fuck fest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Come on.
Sure.
I'm done. I don't have nothing.
Final thoughts.
Hey, nah, that's
Final thoughts.
That was real.
Hey, real life. I forgot to ask a question. Oh, are black women protected? To me, I feel like black women are protected, but to kind of feed off of what you were saying, like I feel like they don't feel like they're protected enough, because again, like they're so used to being a protector, and they're expecting it to be a certain way. Like, so I just feel like it's not, we're not protecting them enough.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, just for instance, just in my real life, I just seen a dude and his girl getting into a big fight during the session. Like, I literally had to like leave my session early because it's like they was doing too much. And on God, she was wrong in majority of this situation. Like, she was putting his hands on him. She was like whipping, like doing hella much. But as soon as he went to try to reach and do something, I was like, shit, you ain't finna hit her.
About to beat her.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
your ass.
bro, it was another dude over there like, hey, you better not, I'm gonna smack with this broom. But mention she been already snatched him down off the ground. She been doing hella much already. She been through hella shit at him. You know what I'm saying? But even still in that stance, when she was wrong, a black man still was there to protect him. Me as a black man still there to be like, nah, he not gonna beat you up right here. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I just feel like as a whole we don't protect enough, because even still, like, I feel like there's so many things that happen inside these situations and relationships that that shouldn't be happening. Like, I feel like men take a lot of stuff. They take a lot of stuff from their women off the grip because we supposed to. You know what I mean? We take a lot of BS, and then it's like, but if we lash out, it's gonna be like, oh, nah, you can't. Hey, don't talk to me. You know what I mean? Like, no, like, you just been talking to me like that for this amount of time, and now when I raise my voice, when I get upset, now I'm crazy.
Right.
No, you know what I mean? So I feel like we need to all do better with. I feel like it's just about us doing better. You know what I mean? Because
But it's the understanding of both sides of the conversation,
Right?
Right? Because if we don't have the conversation, right, like you said, you feel like you don't have the, and we've all talked about, all the fellas in here, we've talked about how it feels to how I felt emotionally, right? And when I was talking about the stuff that we talked about online with Will and Jada, people were in my inbox telling me I'm emotional, telling me that I sound emotional, sound like who, and the jokes were in the comments were, who hurt you? Just say your name, right? Instead of being like, yo, is everything really cool? Even though we had already talked about the conversation about venting and about, right? To them, it just looked like I'm being a bitch, right? So when people are in my inbox making jokes and talking, that's the other side of the coin, right? Because you can't want protection and then not listen at the same time on both sides. We have to be open on both sides, right?
Yeah.
You have to solve. That's why these conversations have to happen. I can't protect you if I also feel like you're the one attacking me.
Right. And that's
I got you. Yeah.
That's real.
I got you. Yeah, we need to bring this conversation back up again. Final thoughts for me is, I think as far as that topic goes, I think black men need to do a better job of holding other black men accountable.
Bars.
Right.
I think we're too like, oh, we on the same team, so that's your business. I ain't gonna deal with your business. You do it, like how you stepped in. Like, more black men need to step in situations where, like, bruh, like, you not doing what you're supposed to do, or you mistreating your woman, whatever. I think we need to be more teachable. We need to be more like that. Open line of communication between black women and black men needs to be there, where we're not already having the presupposition of you're trying to attack me or you're trying to marginalize me. And I just think that black women do need more protection. Facts. They've been saying it forever, and we not listening. And we can't tell them that you don't know, that's not true, that's not true. It's not for us to tell somebody else how they feel. Right. That's how they feel, so it's a fact. So step it up and do more. And I just think that in this situation, what she said is absolutely facts. And I mean, bottom line is that black men just got to do better. I mean, there's not no super logical answer. It's just black men got to do better. That's how black women feel.
How do we have the conversation about what type of protection and how to offer, what kind of protection you need? Because it's so general, right?
In this instance,
so general.
They was talking about how 50 Cent was sharing the memes and everybody sharing the memes. I haven't seen not one black man come out and say, bro, this ain't a joke, bro. Right. She went through something. You know what I mean? Right. Nobody cares. And there's no black men that have stepped up to say that.
You know where I see it? I see it like in our groups. And like on a very basic local level, right? I think people get so caught up with this goddamn celebrity shit that these niggas get passes for dumb shit. Right, and so when she's saying when women are telling you they're not being protected, I would like to have a conversation. Maybe we could do it with the group chat.
We will. No, we'll have a conversation.
See what they really
on
mean.
This podcast about what do black women need from black men. Because right now we're on final thoughts. I don't want to cut you short. Let me do this. So let's do the and I didn't mean to cut anybody else off. Cause I think that needs a whole episode.
For sure.
3 hours.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Ronnie's Trash AF segment.
All right, man.
Make it quick.
All right. Well,
They putting the shoes on.
Yeah. Well, today's trash as fuck, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Your president, your chief, your one and only man. Donald J. Trump. We'd like to see you in the office.
No.
Boo.
We don't rock it, bro.
Yeah. As uncertain as a lot of people are that this coronavirus is really a pandemic or whatever, I don't give a shit what you guys believe. You also get trash as fuck if you believe that coronavirus doesn't exist and you decide to participate in activities that further prolong the recovery. You are trash as fuck. So this is a group trash as fuck for all you people who want to go to the river and go to the park and go play. It doesn't matter if you believe it's real or not, okay? Donald Trump is taking pictures with his products that he's invested in, his Gova products, in the Oval Office with thumbs up. America has just reported 67,000 new cases of coronavirus yesterday. It's the highest in the world since this thing started, okay? We're leading all the cases right now. 37,000 people have died from COVID-19. Businesses are lost. Unemployment is an all-time high of 14.15%. That's the lowest since the Great Depression. 327,000 cases in Florida, 370,000 in California, 410 in New York, 3.6 million cases of coronavirus currently right now in the United States. And your president will not mandate that everybody wears a fucking mask throughout the United States.
Trash.
Okay? Florida's still doing whatever Florida wants to fucking do. I don't understand. They're calling Orange County the Florida of the California. Okay?
I'm done.
And look, listen. So you get trashed because you had a chance to get ahead of this. Okay, not only that, but you went ahead and you fired the pandemic team as soon as you got into presidency, right? Because it can't happen to us. I'm not wearing a condom for this, okay? Now look at us. Burnt, all of us. COVID-19, Donald Trump, you are trash
Donald.
as fuck.
Period.
Right? So that's how that's it. That's all I got. I want you guys to be safe out there, man, and I want you guys to stop acting like because no one that you know personally is being affected or you've seen someone die that it doesn't exist. The fact that you're getting $600 a week to sit your ass at home and you haven't worked in 4 years is a problem.
Facts.
Because we are going to inflate, the economy is going to come back and things are going to be so inflated and you're not going to have that $600 a week coming in anymore. Mm-hmm. So there's instances people around you are losing homes. 30% of the people who are tenants that are renting have not paid their rent. Right. Okay.
That's
we're
crazy.
getting 1.2 million cases of unemployment a fucking week.
Donald J. Trump, you might be trash as fuck for the rest of the term until you get out of office.
Period.
I'm telling you.
Hey.
And I really tried to
brother down
avoid.
for
I
pain.
really tried to avoid doing this because I know everybody hates him so much. I didn't want to be the stereotypical black man to hate on him. But look, if you're the president, control the fucking country.
That's it. You have one job. That's why I
Shut it down, bro.
That's why as soon as I seen Kanye West run, I said, I'm not picking another celebrity for what?
For what?
We already look. I don't know why. Listen, I don't know. I'm still pissed about. I was 16 when Arnold became the governor of California, and I was like, why? And he killed us. We was toe up for years.
Bro, facts.
And then we sit here and hire another celebrity to be the president.
Because
he couldn't even,
hey,
what did
I just say? What did I just say about the celebrity pass? Right, the celebrity
Stupid.
pass. 50 Cent should have got his ass rung the fuck up for that goddamn interview, right? But he didn't, right?
He's a celeb.
And
That's because he's known for being an asshole.
No.
He's
It
known
doesn't-
for
it doesn't
being
matter.
that.
That's
That's
not
why
true.
it's like, it's just 50.
We gonna address it for sure.
anyway,
for
so
sure.
that wraps up my trash as fuck, man.
Thank you, sir.
You know, all you,
Donald J. Trump.
yeah.
You out
Come
of
on,
there.
bro. You trash, bro.
All right. Woo.
Please wear a mask if y'all gonna be outside. Put a mask on.
Please wear a mask. Everybody be safe.
Niggas act like this shit doesn't exist.
Make sure that you take care of your mental health, man. Like I said before, we are praying for Tamar Braxton.
Yep.
Rest in peace, John Lewis. We want
Yep.
to thank everybody that's listened. Please subscribe, like, comment, rate, leave reviews. Tell your friends, tell your family. And we just want to just appreciate everybody that has been listening, that's been rocking with us, right? We've been growing every week. We appreciate it. We want to stay here.
Yep.
We don't want to get canceled.
Nope.
And we want to grow as much as possible,
That's
right?
good.
So we want to appreciate everybody. Raggio, Steph.net, Photo
We don't
B,
wanna get canceled so
D-Lo,
much.
and
Let's get it.
Genesis Focus. We are signing off. Peace and love to everybody.
Much love. Peace
We
out.
out.
Keep out.
Peace.
Let's go. Let's go. If you